need a hit, so here I go.
Ball one. Yay! Ball two. Yay! Strike one. Ooh. Strike two. Kill that umpire. Yeah! A case of Wheaties.
He started baseball's famous streak that's got us all aglow. He's just a man and not a freak, Joltin' Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio, we want you and I.
He tied the mark at 45. The horse had steer, Joltin' Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio, we want you and I.
He'll live in baseball's Hall of Fame. He got there blow by blow. Our kids will tell their kids his name, Joltin' Joe DiMaggio.
We dream of Joey with the light brown back. Joe DiMaggio.
We want you on our side. And now they speak in whispers low of how they stopped our Joe. One night in Cleveland, oh, 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 goodbye streak DiMaggio.
We came from far away upon a summer's day. Didn't it rain? Oh, didn't it rain? We went to the polo grounds to see a baseball game. Didn't it rain? Didn't it rain? We went to the Yankee Stadium to see Babe Ruth hit him. He never came to bat. We let it go at that because it rained. Didn't it rain? The way it rained, it was a shame. We'll never go there again because it rained. Oh, didn't it rain? We'll go back to Hackensack where the sun shines all the day, and we'll be making hay. There ain't no rain, and there ain't no gain. Now, Jimmy Jones, the teacher said, you lied just yesterday. You told me that your ma was ill and home you'd have to stay. But you went to the game instead, and just because you lied, just take your slate and rule and stay in after school. Then Jimmy sobbed and cried, I can't miss that ball game. Gee whiz, it's gonna be immense. When the clock strikes 3, I ought to be looking through the knothole in the fence. If you let me go today, I'll never break another rule. You can spank me till I'm lame, for I just can't miss that game. So please don't keep me after.
Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Audio test. 1, 2, 3.
It's Matty, Jimmy cried. And who's the other baseball team? Chicago Jimmy sighed. The teacher looked up at the clock, then grabbed his hat and fled. He reached the game in time with Jimmy close behind. 2 seats, the teacher said. I can't miss that ball game. Gee whiz, it's gonna be immense. When the clock strikes 3, I ought to be looking through the knothole in the fence. If you let me go today, I'll never break another rule. You can spank me till I'm lame, for I just can't miss that game. So please don't keep me after school.
Page is mellow, so is Campanella, Newcomb and Dobie too. But it's a natural fact, when Jackie comes to bat, the other team is through. Did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? Did he hit it? Yes, and that ain't all. He's all home. Yes, yes, Jackie's real gone.
Whispered to me, you are so pretty. Soon he and I were cabareting. We had a good time, goes without saying. He came to my house, all the lights were low, and then he held me close, set my heart aglow. He told me that my lips were as sweet as wine. With that he put his 2 lips so close to mine and talked of baseball, baseball, the Dodgers and baseball, baseball, Stan Musial, baseball, baseball, all through the night, baseball, baseball. I was so mad, I got to thinking, surely this lad will start me drinking. For there was me, eager and healthy, in love with a he, handsome and wealthy. I tried to get him in my sweet embrace. All he had on his mind was
All right, welcome everybody to the 2028 version of the Preseason Podcast. I'm here with JR. Thank you, JR, as always, for
thanks for having me.
Yeah,
another great season of TBL baseball 2028.
Another chance for those money line to get to that finish line, right?
Well, the money line, it's just a normal year for us. It's, we don't, in Somerville, it's something, we're almost excited if we could miss the playoffs. Maybe we can get a lottery and beat something. Who knows?
Well, it seems like you do have a pretty healthy competition this year. We'll look into the Sapphire Conference. But we'll start in the Jade, because that's where our two-time champion is from, Rochester. And Michael and the North Stars, new logo. Same results. This is the new Denver, I think, right? Beware of the North Stars. Don't do business with this team.
Yeah, I mean,
embargo.
If Denver and Rochester are different people running the franchises there, I mean, the rule may still apply.
Yeah. So we lost Las Vegas Zach, who was a really formidable GM, and that was who's kind of keeping Jay in check. So I brought Michael in to do that, and I may have overcorrected here because Michael now is 2 championships in with this expansion team, and he's off to a hot start this year. What do you think of the North Stars here in 2028?
Very shrewd GM, because there's a lot of players that he's let go throughout this process, and while during this 2-year run he's let great talent leave but still finds a way to win. So props to him for that. It's obviously not Jay. It's funny because I first heard about the whole Huron Denver thing on the podcast. I never complained about it because I thought it was above board, but Michael does things totally different than Jay. That's the number one thing that you could actually look at, and maybe not at the top, but he doesn't go crazy with the payroll down the road. He makes sure that he's competitive and able to go ahead and be adroit in the future. So it's a good balanced team, not a huge payroll and budget, I should say, because they are an expansion team. So he's worked through all of that to win 2 championships in a row. And Paul, just as a heads up, it seems like the stream is still showing the. Oh yeah, nice. Yep. But that's it.
No, I appreciate it, Ryan. Honestly, it's funny looking at this team's 2 championships too, right? In 2026, they were like below 500 at the All-Star break, and then they just had a great finish, and then went through the playoffs and got that first ring. And then last year, they were trailing Denver. They were selling at the deadline. They went on another late run, and now they're back-to-back champions. And I don't think anybody's sleeping on them this year as anything but a favorite. So, for sure.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with their core. Jeff Bass is a guy we talk about often, and there's some other players around it. He made a good trade with Carolina to bring in Dave Smith. So when you look at the team, there are some high-end players that haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, and Jeff Bass is kind of taking a step back. We'll see what he does this year. I mean, he's 29 years old, but he's an Ironman, so he's played a lot of games already in his career. I don't know. Do you think we're going to get a resurgent season from him, or is this?
I think it matters. I think the guy can have a crap regular season, and then he's good in the playoffs. I don't know what his playoff numbers are, but he's a guy who finished 1 year in center field for him. He does whatever's needed for the team when it's time to win. And I don't even look at Bass's numbers anymore as far as what he means to this franchise.
Yeah, no, he had a great 2026 postseason. He was also formidable in 2027. And this team is deep at a lot of different positions. Lyle Egner shows as one of his top players here. Had a really great season last year, almost 5 WAR, 25 years old. You know, it's impressive too because he's doing it on. This isn't the biggest budget in the TBL. If you actually look, he's 15th out of 32 GMs, and that's after back-to-back championships. So like this was even lower down the totem pole in the past few seasons.
Yeah.
So
a good case study and what it means to win a championship for a budget. I think they actually got this right within the engine of the game. But yeah, it takes a lot of sustained winning to get that budget and those fans to where they need to be. The loyalty is below average. I mean, it's a brand new fan base kind of, so it is what it is.
And they were terrible.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
there's still a .462 win percentage as a team, even after 3 seasons of this being like really, really great. So historically they have a bad history, so it's not surprising that that's going to take a minute to turn around. But you're right. But no, Michael's a great rebuilder. I joked that if we expanded, I want to force him out of Rochester and into an expansion team again to make him do it a third time. Just to prove he can, right?
Yeah. Well, this one, I think the Huron team he took over had a lot of talent on it when he did, because we always talk about those 2 first GMs. I think it was 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
They were crazy, but they always drafted young players and really committed to the tank. And then, it was Michael. You see teams that always compete well, and then they switch GMs, and then they fall off. Michael's never going to allow that to happen. So credit to him. This guy's a great GM.
Yep. Brad McIntosh traded from Denver in the offseason. So this is the second time he's been in Rochester in the past few seasons. Let's see if he's still on Rochester when we get to the trade deadline here this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not. But Dan Oakes was a big part of his postseason run last year and walked away in free agency. So the rotten apple's back there in place. And then Roy Bell, the ace of this team, 2 Pitcher of the Year awards, still formidable and off to a pretty hot start this season. Although we're just 1 sim in, but
yeah, led the league in WHIP twice. Generally doesn't lose games. There's maybe guys with better ratings, but Roy Bell's been the top guy in the entire TBL. Regular season, playoffs, doesn't matter what it is, last 2 years.
Yeah, looking at the contract page, McIntosh obviously owed a shitload of money this year. He definitely invested a lot to pull him in. Whatever, I guess on that. Bass is locked up for the next 2 years. And then Matt Teams, we haven't really talked about him, so let's just take a look. He's locked up for $24 a year over the next 3 years. Don't love that contract. It's a trade with Denver from 5 seasons ago. And then obviously got extended and has taken a step back. But outside of that, pretty great built team right now, and I think a pretty good system too.
He can reshuffle pretty quickly. A lot of money coming off the books.
Yes. Yep. Like $60 million coming off the books. His system's finally depleted. So I will say, I've seen Michael in a few leagues now. He will go into a rebuild at some point, and he'll do it aggressively. Like he'll sell off big pieces and just flip that switch. So, when he does that is up to him, because we'll look at the rest of these teams and see if there's a near window coming up. But I think he's kind of in control of this division with Denver and a few other teams right now. So
yeah. Agreed.
Anything else you want to say on these guys?
Not really. I looked at their postseason run. When I did when the Sports Illustrated staff did their cover, but it's a classic championship back-to-back team. Should be one of the teams that we mentioned on the short list of great teams and franchises going forward. So, these things can get lost when you get to 50, 75, 100 years, but we're in year 28, and this is one of the best.
Yeah, for sure. Not a lot of back-to-back champions. Well, a couple,
Nope.
not a ton in TBL history. So, yep, for sure. Great team. And again, preseason predictions had them at like 96 wins. Wouldn't be surprised if they're right in that ballpark, more or less, and definitely in the playoffs. So,
yeah.
All right. next up, probably have to go with Denver. It's been the other behemoth here in the league for multiple seasons. 99 wins last year, just missed that 100-win mark. And then early first-round exit, losing to Carolina in the first round. But yeah, just look at the history here. Well over the century mark in 6 of the last 9 seasons. And 2 championships and 4 or 5 championships appearances in a row, right? Was it 5 in a row? I don't remember.
I think 4.
How quickly we
forget. It's 4.
How quickly I forget.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the 2028 Dynamite?
They are not the same Dynamite. They don't have the same pop. I'm surprised they dealt the catcher because I thought Jay was finally in a good payroll situation to extend his young players. He makes moves to get good players, so you don't worry about giving up certain players. So that's the one thing. I just don't think they have the same scary power that they used to. And I say that, and then next thing you know, they're going to definitely probably be amongst the best offensive teams in the league. But, it's the depth isn't there in Denver anymore. So back of the bullpen, maybe if injuries hit them, that same depth isn't there. Jay was asking for minimum players to fill out his roster or his 40-man or whatever. He has 38 players on his 40-man. Looks like he's going to add some more. But this isn't the same team as far as depth and top-end talent.
Yeah, and obviously we mentioned how very different the strategy is than Michael's. High payroll team, second highest budget and payroll in the TBL, and that's kind of always been Jay's style, at least over the last few seasons. He's not afraid to trade for money and just keep boosting that payroll. And he's got top position players and stars at a lot of different positions, but you're right, it's a couple holes now, or there haven't been in the past. If those holes are still there at the trade deadline, we'll see, right? He's always been very talented at acquiring talent. We'll see what he can do with the new crop of GMs and how many people listen to this part of the podcast.
Well, I feel bad that we have created this embargo.
No, it's okay. He's got 4 championships.
But,
he can.
I feel a little because
it's kind of like in a video game. You beat it on medium, right? And you have to turn it up to hard. So we just got to turn it up to hard a little bit on Jay.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. And the podcast does work. They talk about some other teams and how their behavior has changed ever since they have been brought up on this podcast. But yeah, Jay didn't need money this offseason, which is funny. He had money going into. He's signing free agents. He's doing it a little different. He's not able to get to that 250 million payroll level, 240, 230, whatever he was at in the previous years. A little more organic. I don't know. I'm not bullish on them because of the depth of the pitching. Really, once you get if Kuznasty gets, he goes down or something happens, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still bullish on them. I think just the bar is just at a different level when we talk about the Dynamite. I don't see this team struggling to get into the playoffs at all. And they were preseason predictions, the favorite 98. Not that those mean anything, but 98 wins for their preseason prediction. Talked about how this team kind of acquires through the trades, and I'm not sure if all the GMs are still here who made these deals, but I think Fort Collins is. I think this was Tim that made this trade, but I feel like Allison was a steal and is at least on the team top players list, number 1 here on the Dynamite. The best pitcher on the Dynamite, which is not on this list, but Braden King, also a steal, and that GM's kind of moved on now, so we can openly say that was a terrible trade.
A horrible deal.
Yeah.
Horrible deal. Yeah, oh my goodness. Trading young pitching is I'm not. Once again, we'll get into some other teams very shortly. But trading young pitching is when you see what these pitchers, what free agency has turned into. Everybody's wrecked. Everybody's asking for $20 million, and we're talking about like number 3 starters. So when a guy like Braden King, you got him there. I don't care what your record is. These guys are fan fave.
Yeah, lefty, 24 years old.
Yeah,
you just don't trade.
Keep the guy.
Yeah. Or at least you get a monster return. And I don't remember what the return was, but it wasn't big enough. So.
Yeah.
Contracts? What do we think of the contracts here? What's going on in Denver?
I don't. I think it's the cleanest balance sheet that he's had in Denver.
Yeah, he's had some.
I just don't think he likes that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. He's had some times where he's had his assets locked up for a long time and like really committed money a couple years out, and it doesn't look that hefty right now.
It doesn't. He can re-sign Allison to a big deal because Nicky could be re-signed. So there's a lot of flexibility. Porter can be re-signed.
Yeah, do you re-sign Porter? I mean, he's going to be asking what, 40, 45 million a year?
I don't know. Let me see. He's still a shortstop. Is he still? He's a little fragile. Is he able to play shortstop? That's all it comes down to, for me, is just if he can play shortstop. The guy hits the free market, or the guy's probably pricing himself as a shortstop.
He's really not a shortstop. Though. No, he's been a bad shortstop his whole career. Honestly, -50 zone rating. Mm-hmm. So he's more of a third baseman, second baseman, I think.
Yeah. But you can't tell the player that. The players in this, I enjoy it. It's also, they do have their own personalities when it comes to this free agency stuff, right? So, I don't know. Jay can probably pop in right now and tell us what Porter's asking for. But, I know Porter's been on the trade block. I always like to know if I'm trading, what a guy's asking for if I trade for him. And, it'd be good to know what Porter is actually asking here. He's a great player.
Yeah. DJ Lord on the books for 2 years too, and that kind of makes sense why he got rid of the rotten apple. Probably find better to plug in than having $48 million on the books. So I like the trade to Michael, although I never know what to make between those two GMs, I guess.
Yeah.
And Sobieski coming off the books should be really helpful.
Yeah, DJ Lord is one of those guys that his bars are sexy, his production is not. So it's the idea of DJ Lord throughout his career has been a good one. It's just that he's an interesting player because he doesn't have power as much, and he's more of a leadoff guy. Like Doherty.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a sneaky outside shot at Hall of Fame. If he.
Whoa.
Outside shot. Although I have a 10-man list, and apparently some people here only vote for like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, we can discuss that throughout.
I don't know.
If you never led the league in anything, or you've never been the best player at your position,
we have
then
Hall of Famers.
I
feel like I can pull one up right now. Who's the Korean Kong? What's his name?
Oh, I think you just type that in.
Boom. Oh, except for War. Oh.
Yeah, but and the guy hit
2 MVPs, couple.
Yeah, 2 MVPs. Like there's hardware there. You don't walk into the guy's house and wonder where his trophies are. Doherty, guy might go through a divorce or something, and half his stuff's missing, and then next thing you know, you walk into his house and you see nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, no more Denver. Let's quick look at the system. Yeah, pretty barren as well. Like both these teams keep trading and they have nothing. Like don't fall for this. Don't fall for this. This is nothing.
That is when somebody sells an IAFA guy like Jay does, I have to keep my mouth closed because
I'm opening it right now.
You know,
I'm telling you, these guys are worth nothing until they become
nothing.
like 20
Absolutely
years
nothing.
old.
That's 75 to be a 45 in 3
It's
weeks.
like purchasing fool's gold.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at the standings here. Third place, I don't remember. I think it was the Mudcats sneaking in to the playoffs. Did anybody sneak in ahead of them? I think it was New Orleans.
Good.
Meet the team.
I think it was the Mudcats.
Third place, 81 and 81, sneaking in at the end of the season. Ryan said, glad he didn't sell at the deadline because he thought his team would make a run, and they did. Then they lost in the wild card series, unfortunately, to Baltimore, I believe, 4-2. This is another team who has been, we don't give him enough credit because he's been quiet lately, but a juggernaut. 19 playoff appearances for this franchise, 2 championships, extreme fan loyalty, extreme fan interest, and high budget team because, once you build up that reputation, it doesn't take much. Even after you suck for a few years, you can quickly flip that switch and become a high budget team again if you're popular. So
Yeah, that's important not to sell off for that reason. There's it's weird because you talk about the Boston Beacons often, but if you're loyal to your players, you can it'll keep your budget a little higher. 15 to 20 million is what I look at it as, just for loyalty. And that's important. New Orleans is going nowhere, right? And all you got to wait for them is to reload and figure it out because they have an ace and they have a couple of young hitters that can carry this lineup for a long time. So you gotta, they're not gonna be dormant too long.
Yeah, are they dormant now? I guess that's the question. Have they reloaded? The preseason predictions have them at 92 and 70 this year. Mm-hmm. We'll see if that comes to fruition. And just looking at the team top players list here on the left, Andy Chenal, was that Rookie of the Year last year, I believe?
Rookie of the Year.
So he's a pretty nice looking piece.
Yep, and that's one of the hitters. I think he's the better of the two pieces, but Nolasco being the second one, right?
Also on the team top players list, Nolasco.
Yeah.
We do have a super impressive.
The only reason Nolasco, if you look at his what do you call it? His personality. He's a bit of a wild card. Those guys don't totally always have great long peaks of their career, but the guy has the talent at age 23. It may not matter. He can have some big years. So yeah, it's a good. New Orleans always tends to be a pitching heavy team with some pop, and we're just if you get some guys to fill around Barnes, they're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, Barnes is like the most undervalued pitcher I think in this league right now. He's 26. He's pitched for how many seasons now? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 1 All-Star appearance. I don't get it. Give this guy some hardware. He's been good.
Yeah, it's I don't know if he's his stamina or something. Is he not pitching enough innings? I don't know why he's not getting consideration for more things. He's not a guy who goes over 200 innings, but who cares? Yeah. The numbers are. He's an ace. He's a bona fide ace.
Yep. So no, I think they're going to be good according to the predictions. We'll see if it fills in that way, and if the Mudcats are back. Looking at their contract page, a lot of young guys usually means not a lot of locked up money. It looks like we've got Ian Markle for 3 seasons here. He was pretty good for Montreal 2 seasons ago, a little disappointing in his debut for the Mudcats last year. So this might be, I don't know, a questionable contract for the money. He is a captain, so that's good to see.
Yeah, one of those guys who got to free agency at the perfect time.
Yeah,
was Markle.
Played well in the contract year. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
he's getting paid a lot. It is reducing contract year over year. Chris Kitchen is the other locked-in contract here. Fan favorite, so I don't hate that. He is wrecked though, and he looks wrecked. So actually, maybe I do hate that. Not a guy I would give money to.
But, yeah. What's his popularity look like?
Probably extremely popular.
Very popular. I mean, yeah.
It is what it is. Sometimes they look shinier when this contract is signed. But yeah, no. 4 weeks right now. It's not a ton of money. He did sign Adigio Marinelli. I'm glad I'm looking here because this is my boy. Still has not played for any other team. Apparently, he's not in the lineup. But like that signing. But
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and Barnes is locked up long term here. I almost missed it because it's further down the list. But $26 million a year, I do love that. 26 years old, you're gonna get him to 30, and then he's gonna hit free agency. So
that's how. Those are the contracts that good franchises get to sign with their players. Is something where it's below market rate. The guy wants to stay there. The fan base is great. And everything is simpatico. So yeah, the guy signs for $26 million a year, and that's a guy that anybody would pay 40-something million a year, 5 years for in the open market. So great deal.
Yeah, I think you see it in the real major leagues too. But like, if you can offer a contract in the last few, like a long-term contract for these superstars in the last few years with arbitration as well, you can sometimes get that AAV down by by a little bit and get those friendlier deals. Okay, who's next? Let's look at the pipeline. Sorry, one more.
Oh, yeah, take a look here. A lot of players there. Let's see.
A couple guys in Double A here towards the top.
Yeah. So this is exactly what I guess he's waiting on here, because once these guys flank Barnes, then New Orleans is a big problem once again. Yeah,
those are guys you could see come up at the deadline for sure. Anybody who's starting at Double A or above and has that 40+ rating, I think, depending on how those lower levels go, you could see them at call-up day.
Yeah. Let's see, Jaheim Bryant. I mean, yeah, these guys need some more seasoning, but this is a good looking. I like the positions. Let's put it that way. I like and the optionality of his prospects. So pitching, not too many guys running around, playing first base with a frying pan on their hand, which is a lot of what the prospect list is. These are pitchers that matter.
All right, on to team number 4. We've got had a couple of near misses. I know Galveston was one of them. Let's take a look at Galveston next. Galveston slid to 5th, so actually why don't we take a look at Las Vegas. Las Vegas was in the playoffs 2 years ago, Eric's team, at 84-78. Last year slid to 80-82 and was first team out on the ice side, I think. Thoughts on the High Rollers?
Surprised that that he's getting as much out of this group. This is a oft injured. There's a couple franchises that have injured pitching. I think Milwaukee, whoever. Las Vegas might have the most pitching injury bad luck there is. And I mean, wow, I don't even know. I guess I'm looking at his injured list now, and it's it's more of the same. And it's something where bad fielding has also plagued him, and very reliant on Laredo. Bassett was injured last year. Somehow he still got there, and I think the Laredo Bassett combination can carry the team offensively when they're healthy. So that works for them. You got to get healthy with the pitching. Got to figure that out.
It's crazy at 33, Laredo's still doing what he's doing. He's truly one of the greatest to ever play in the TBL. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know. This team has some serious injuries to the starting pitching, which is crazy.
Yeah. Laredo is a guy who has never been in the greatest of situations, whether it be where he played, because he played in center field in Vancouver, or where, the players around him. 74 RBIs. It's not a Laredo problem. That's a roster construction problem when you see a number like that. So that's, it's not his fault. He's a first ballot guy in my opinion.
For sure. Let's take a look at the salaries. This is a team that has some players locked up, so we can kind of look to focus on who he's trying to build around here. Christian Laredo is locked up for a lot of money, so hopefully he continues to produce at the level we've seen him produce at. And I honestly don't hate the contract if you think about it. He's a generational player. Just pay that man his money.
Yeah.
Bassett's on what I feel like is a steal of a contract for who this guy's been, and it's going to wrap up, when he's 36, 37 here. So, playing those two guys out, I don't hate it at all. And then we've got this pitcher here locked up for a long time, who is injured now for 3 months, and has a pretty bad history. So that one's a little more concerning to me.
You will see the worst histories. You will see the worst histories amongst these pitchers in this organization.
I mean, look at this contract though for Ross Colson. He's got a $100 million contract, and that was just signed this season. So,
I don't love that.
Nope, same. That's a tricky one, but we'll see. He's got 40 stamina too. I mean, this guy might become more of an asset in the bullpen, honestly.
This is one of those guys I just always look at their innings pitched, and it's, do you expect the guy to ever throw 100 innings?
Yeah.
No.
Yep, or at least you feel lucky if he does. So.
Yeah.
Jesse Dincher, this guy's locked up for not too much money. He's wrecked though. This is another situation where, 21-month injury, 8-month injury,
21 months,
6 weeks. So these aren't the guys you want to give the money to in the long-term contracts to. So that might be my big red flag for Las Vegas.
You're done in the Somerville organization with a 21-month injury.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I do think looking at the right now, I hate those contracts, not going to lie. I do think looking at the right now, though, this team is in that mid window where they could be competitive this year. Not to maybe win a championship, but maybe to sneak into the playoffs. Right where they've been the last few years. I don't think anything's different here.
Yeah, I think that everything that could have happened well for them might have happened last season. And I don't know, it could be bad for them. Who knows? They can win 90 games because Laredo's hot.
Yeah, preseason has them at 79 and 83, so pretty much a 500 team. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Shout out to Jason Bassett for being the all-time leader in a couple categories here for this really great historic franchise. 17 playoff appearances
Hall of Famer
for Las Vegas.
I think he did a lot of it. He played a very good center field too, and only until recently did he fall off there. So he's one of those guys who was actually able to play it. He falls into that short list of guys who can play some center field and both sides play both sides of the ball.
Up until about 32, he was an above average.
Yeah,
center fielder. So, future Hall of Famer, no question. I think.
Yeah, he's first ballot.
First ballot. So is Laredo. So, all right, let's look on to their system just real quick. Some nice, top end, at least rankings wise. I think we all kind of go by the DSA more now, though, right? But
we haven't seen DSA in a while, so
it was just posted recently, right? Just a few days ago.
I did have it.
Yeah, just yesterday or 2 days ago.
My fault for muting that channel.
Jay Garrett, though, the number 9 prospect in the league right now by OSA standards, had a really great season last year in A+, so it might be a nice future piece. We're going by OSA numbers today. I guess I can pop my scout in there.
Yeah,
not as
your scout's not going to give away anything, so go
Come
ahead.
on, my scout's great.
No, he's not going to give away any. He's not going to, there's no. I don't think there's any competitive advantage to seeing your scout's rankings here.
I have a pretty bad scout, actually. I think.
Is he bad? All right.
Yep.
That's not.
Yeah.
You just try not to embarrass him. That's awesome. I'm literally looking at your scout right now. He's pretty good. But go ahead.
Is he? Okay.
He's good enough.
Yep. So, yeah, no, I have concerns about the starting rotation here, mainly because of injuries. He's got a big heart of the lineup. I like that. Bullpen's probably so
500 team.
Yeah, 500 team. Enough said. Probably too much said. All right, on to the next one, and that is this time Galveston.
Yes.
What do we
The
think
cover
of
boy
Jeremy's Gremlins
of the TBL season previews on this team, Ashton Turner.
I feel like Reese is really big on the Gremlins in some of the DSA reports. I feel like you've had some positive things to say.
Oh, I like what they're doing. They, the pickup of Sadler when he was on waivers, and there's a bunch of moves he's made where Sadler's not a distressed asset. His contract made him distressed, and New York's situation with their payroll. But Galveston will make the shrewd pickup, and they're close. They're very close to being a team that is going to be near the top, in that top four of the Jade consistently.
Yeah, they've definitely been going in the right direction. So can't say anything bad about what this GM's done. The team looks pretty good. They're starting to round out for sure. Let's take a look at Ashton Turner, 25 years old, considered their top player, and in 97 games last year, 84 games started, put up 5.4 WAR. Was an absolute monster, 4th round pick in 2025. It's got the good personality. He is a guy to watch moving forward, for sure.
Yeah. These guys are all the right age. The timeline is good. I think the timeline is what I like about them because, Turner and, a couple of the pitchers. I mean, they really... They need one more big arm or something, and they'll push for the playoffs. They'll be a perennial playoff team.
Yeah, they're definitely still missing something a little bit. By the way, this is dropped to pathetic. I'm going to change that. I don't let it drop below whatever is right above this. So that must have just recently happened.
Yeah.
But in a tough situation, this team hasn't been historically good. 8 playoff appearances. So it's good to see the direction Jeremy's kind of turned this team around into in a very kind of tough situation. Let's get back there. Sorry.
It's close to what the old Boston, now Carolina team had to go through.
Yeah. Yep. The Reapers. Same honestly with our Rochester North Stars. They were the Winston-Salem Camels, and they were a shit show. So, rebuild needed, and maybe almost there. Again, no contracts really locked up. Sadler's the only one. So
yeah. There's not as many bloated payrolls in the TBL, I've noticed. So there's a lot of teams that are ready to fire on a big player in free agency or whatever it is. But this is a team that may need, or may be one of those teams that are that player away. A big free agent.
Yep. Some pieces in AAA here. Oscar Mitchell. I didn't see if he was on the roster, but he looks ready. Maybe we'll see him come up soon. The system looks pretty good. Looks better than some we've seen.
Yeah, this is a balanced team. I always like balance, and then is somebody building towards a good 40-man roster, not just 28, but 40-man roster, and you see that in Galveston. A lot of pitching too. A lot of pitching.
One thing we will say, the preseason predictions were favorable, 88 and 74. So let's see if they can live up to that expectation and get the Gremlins back in the postseason for the first time since 2021. And that was kind of a fluke.
He's got a bunch of pitchers in that 23 to 24 age range that could be ready to go very shortly too. I like this team. I love it. I actually do love them.
All right.
Who do we get next here?
Next up, we have, what do you think, Durham, Fort Collins?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like it was Fort Collins. 7th place. It was Durham. Durham, 6th place. Best catcher in the league, Sadao Suzuki.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it says. That's what it says right there on the page. What do you want me to tell you? This is the best catcher in the league.
I can't stand that dude.
He had a great rookie
If I
season.
ever thought, there's certain guys who I know drive the fans crazy that have to deal with watching every day. A catcher that supposedly has power. He struck out 242 times. He walked 101 times. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Put the ball in play.
Obviously he hasn't been great since that.
He's an asshole too. Oh my goodness.
Looks like we have a coaching vacancy. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a problem.
At Dylan.
That's a problem.
Yeah, we're gonna have to send off a DM there.
That's huge.
Missed a couple sims in the offseason. Missed those good coaches, unfortunately. But
that is big. The way your organizational attitude, what you do well, what positions you develop well, is all about the coaches, right? So you got to have somebody.
Yeah, I like to think they don't play an overarching or an overbearing role, but they definitely make an impact. Having
they make an impact.
Yeah. When you see some of these teams make the playoffs 20 years in a row and have these ghost players come out of nowhere and be really good, it's because their coaching's locked up and they're invested in their development and shit like that. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This team's get some okay pieces across the board. At least, if you trust these ratings, like the first best catcher in the league.
That's not, yeah. So no, I don't trust those ratings. Yeah. It's, Tony Acuna still doing it.
On the injured list, I think I saw maybe not too bad.
I mean, he bat him leadoff. That's going to automatically happen. He'll be on the injured list just because, he's on base too much.
I feel like just looking at this team quickly, and I could be wrong, but I'm getting the vibe: bad defense, bad pitching. Mark Christensen's obviously not the case, and he just signed him for a huge contract, which I don't hate at all.
Yeah,
this is the type of guy you pay.
Yeah. Let me see what they did last year with their fielding.
Acuna's out 8 to 9 months. He's done for the season, by the way.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, maybe you said forget about it. Yeah. So, Durham. Wow. You got to go deep to see them on the rankings. Yeah.
Jason Patrick, former first overall pick. I don't even remember this name, but 2023 1-1. Dude has not really lived up to the expectations.
So yeah, Durham has some defensive problems for sure. They led the league in errors last year. They led the conference in errors last year. They led the conference in pass balls. They and people steal on them like crazy. They led they're second in the conference in stolen base attempts against last season. So it's not. Yeah, they don't have good defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately that impacts Christensen. But when your pitching's not deep too, I mean, it's gonna impact everything. You're gonna give up a lot of runs. Looking at the
Do you think
preseason, go ahead.
Do you think that was a good deal, the Christensen deal?
$40 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay that guy. I mean, the only thing I don't do though is keep him for the whole contract. Like, at some point here, you want to ship him off. Maybe, like, again, I like to ship a guy off. I like to retain 50% because if I'm rebuilding, I don't care about the money. And you should be able to get first round plus for that kind of guy. That's what I think his value sits at. So.
Yeah, hey, he's a guy who performs in good situations. So in Philly, he was a guy who had a near 5 ERA, and the minute he got to Rochester and Huron, the Herons, he was all right, and then that kind of got him to that payday.
Yeah. I mean, he played. Did he start in Rochester? So.
He started in Philly.
Philly. Okay. Yep.
Couldn't wait to get out of there, obviously, and performed well the minute he left.
Yep.
Not a surprise.
Something about those Philly pitchers. Yeah, no, that's crazy looking at those numbers. How drastic that changed once he left Philly. Which I have to say might have been due to, I mean, one, development, and two, probably the defense, right? But I don't know. I like him. Apparently OSA doesn't like him. He's 25th league rank.
OSA loves Suzuki, so who cares?
That's true. Yeah, it's a tough call. All right, yeah. Let's take a look at the contracts. Let's take a look at the system briefly.
Oof. Who we got here? Spagnuolo?
1 second, I'm toggling. Contracts. Christensen locked up. We talked about that one. Spagnuolo's 31. I think we kind of went over these a while ago. I don't love this contract. He's
because wrecked. I remember talking about it's Spagnuolo's contract. That's a bad deal.
Yeah. That's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Signing that guy. That's a bad one. Acuna, same thing. We've talked about this with Dylan's team before, so he's probably this is gonna be deja vu. The only problem is we're talking about it still is because he offered all those guys like 5-year deals when it started. So hopefully he gets out from under this soon.
Who's his best young? What's his best contract?
His best contract?
That's Who's his best contract? Or I guess who's his best young player?
Let's go to the Meet the Team page to see what they think.
Juan Martinez is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. Which, I mean, nothing special.
Yeah, I mean, Juan Martinez is whatever. But, once again, timelines. So all those guys are about to be out of here, So let's look at these prospects to see what he has coming up.
They're all young
because,
for the most part. He's got a pair of guys in AAA, maybe a couple more down the list. He's got kind of a deep system, but a lot of guys in A plus, A minus. So a couple years out. I mean, if I'm Durham, I mean, again, you got to look at what's around you and where you're at. He's locked into some contracts that are not favorable. He's got some guys that are 2 to 3 years away. So I'm aggressively trying to pick up some trade assets right now. And then when I'm drafting, I'm aiming for college level guys. And so that they can just jump right into this pool and all this can kind of come up at the same time.
Yeah. It's a good college bat. Like we just talked about Galveston. found Ashton Turner in the fourth, a college bat, immediately ascended. That is a good strategy for Durham.
Yep.
Well, it's a good strategy for anybody if you can get a player like that.
I think Durham's number one focus just needs to be to pay attention to his team, sign some coaches. You know, it's again, it's not just your major league team. You got to look at it all. So, yeah, especially to compete against some of these dogs here in the Jade. 7th place, Fort Collins. This is an interesting situation. You like Galveston's situation. I like this situation. Probably because I'm intimately tied to it now by trading away some top assets to Tim in the Roosters. What are your thoughts on this team?
They have a couple players, Joe Harris, and who's the other guy, the pitcher, right? Jesse Black or Beck. He that's that's how you start your rebuild. So you have two players. One's a starting pitcher. One's a center fielder, probably a corner outfielder. But looks like he's going to have power. He's going to be pretty good. He may be up a little too early, but those are cornerstones. And outside of trading another cornerstone to Jay, this is a good-looking roster.
Yeah, and I mean, candidly, you're talking about Allison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Allison might be the guy that you're like paying a lot of money to right now, and this team's not paying anybody anything. So if Allison's your big contract and you have all these young players, like I like that mix, and unfortunately he's not there anymore. But I like when GMs are candid. Tim said he doesn't really know the value of trades in the league, so hopefully he's a little more careful moving forward when moving his assets around. I think I gave him a really good deal. He took, again, my 2 first-round picks over the next few years for a couple of back-end bullpen pieces after he had signed Chris Calvert and Barker to some multi-year deals that I thought were pretty smart contracts. And I've since flipped those guys to Milwaukee, so passed it right along.
Yeah.
But, again, he's got assets over the next few years. He's got a young core. We'll look at his system here real quick. It's the deepest system in the Jade. So to me, this is the team to watch future-wise, to be the next kind of perennial contender in that division.
Well, okay, if you think so.
I do. I mean, again, we can differ. It's all.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely differ because I do think that these guys, he's got too many DHs. There's a bunch of DHs running around this team, and then that's my only real criticism. There's a couple guys that are up too early, in my opinion, but whatever. A lot of talent. You may be right.
See, I mean, you just pull it off the list, though. We've got Harris and Alvarado, left-handed pitcher here, coming in as rookies this year. I mean, he's got 4 rookies, looks like, that are going to be starting. Gustavo Lopez is up, not doing very well. Maybe needs to go back down, candidly.
Well, that's my thing about Joe Harris.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say maybe position identity might be something to look at because.
Yeah, that's not a shortstop. That's a second baseman.
He's playing shortstop right now, so like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly. This guy's a second baseman, maybe a first baseman, maybe outfielder. Let's take a look here.
Maybe outfielder.
No, probably not.
No.
So no, yeah, that's fair. He's got to fill in the right positions in the right places, but it looks like he's got a lot to pick from. I'm not going to break down every position here, but my point is he's got $58 million on the books here. So if he finds the talent in that stack, that the needle in the haystack, whatever, talent-wise, and then he's able to go out and he's got nothing committed except for some retained contracts. If he's able to go out and sign something in free agency, I think this team can be competitive.
Yeah, definitely. I would I'd be very active in free agency in the next offseason and try to get a competitive team on the field ASAP. Cause you see these guys that have the nice potentials and sexy bars, and they don't develop to the highest level until they compete. So, got to get to competing in Fort Collins.
I almost like his third baseman, Nate Vansel. He's like 28th ranked for third base, but I almost like this guy better as a shortstop just because of what he has. I mean, at least this guy's got range.
That's the shortstop right there.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah, I move him to shortstop, but then you don't really have a third baseman. Maybe that's the issue.
Well, you could put what's his name? Gomez can't play third.
No arm, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I'd rather have the shortstop with the guy. You can get away with
I think
a
I
lot
might
of
switch
stuff at
those
third
guys.
base.
I might switch those guys.
Yeah. So yes, shortstop, center fielder's not a center fielder. The left fielder has no range and he's probably a DH. The DH can go to the minor leagues if he wants. The catcher can't catch. Well, he can. I shouldn't say that because catching is weird. But he doesn't have all the things you may want in behind the plate.
Yeah. Interesting park too. It's not a neutral park, so hopefully Tim kind of takes that into consideration as he builds moving forward. Doubles and triples like way turned up. Home runs pretty average, but if you search for gap players, contact gap players, they can really excel here. So, all right, pipeline. Let's take a look. Or contracts, front office, salaries. Well, we looked at that. Nothing locked up. Contract. We look at the pipeline.
58.
Too.
Pipeline stacked.
Who's next? Who's next on our list? The only team left, Tampa Bay, the Cannons.
Let's keep this one under 2 minutes.
Let's take a look at. I'm just gonna see personnel. He's got all his coaches. So,
that's him. Yeah.
So
I'm not. This is
Dylan.
This is one of the things where I'm not gonna rip anybody for their performance at OOTP. And John, he takes pride in it. He'll jump into the chat and be like, "Yeah, I'm doing stuff. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I'm happy he jumps into chat. Not everybody does that. I definitely want to encourage that more.
And that's enough. Like there's certain teams that may not be great, but the GMs are around and they participate to the point where it's whatever. Maybe one day he may wake up and just be great.
Yeah, being in this league the requirement isn't to be good; it's just to be active.
Yeah, exactly.
Participate and have a good time.
Yeah.
That being said, you do have to.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That being said, you do have to manage your team. So he does need to keep at it here. League ranks, obviously, this is one of the worst teams. Definitely in rebuild mode. Just looking again, we don't trust league ranks for everything, but it's a good indicator if you look up and down and see all red that they're not the strongest team on paper. And what John really needs to do is pay attention to his minor leagues because his major league team sucks. And if the minor league team isn't set up,
it's one of the worst 40-man rosters I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean he had rosters last year that weren't full, missing catchers, missing pitchers, stuff like that. And if that's set up in your minor leagues, this is what your major leagues are going to look like for the next 2 decades. So hopefully, hopefully just a little TLC,
Here's what you do.
Leagues.
You see that owner down there, Ryan Cox? You can see the owner. Anyways, he expects extreme winning. He's 74 years old. There's a good chance he doesn't make it through this year.
Yeah. He has a heart attack.
He might be able to that might be the change you need in Tampa Bay.
All those owner goals are, in a serious note, turned off, but no, that is funny.
Yeah, well, that too.
Organization here. Let's take a look. It looks like the minor leagues are set up at least to start, so that's a good thing to see. A lot of super young guys though. Like, look at, we're into A+, and these are 2019.
Yeah, age matters so much in the minors. It's
candidly,
crazy.
It's because I've had to pull guys out of the international complex to fill rosters on this organization. So if I was John, again, if you have like half an hour to put into this, go into free agency, look for guys who have a demand of 0, sign some minor league free agents, get some older guys with some experience, who can help carry your prospects through the systems.
To use best practices from Denver. This is the time of year he fills up his minor leagues with minor league veterans. Somebody asked for minor league depth today in the trade once, and I think it was New York. That's big. That helps your young players develop. So this is the perfect sim to dive in there and find those zero demand guys and put them in your minor league system.
Yep. All right, we won't spend too much more time on John's team.
Now we're good.
Don't love the contracts.
Nope.
Archuleta, whatever, $28 million. Since there's no one here worth anything, so anybody getting paid.
There's nobody.
Yeah.
This is
it's an
purely.
Old team. It's an old team. These guys are all 32 or older.
Yeah, it's purely a team where you listen to the fans and just sign whoever they want, and that's it. You'll be fine.
So, future of this franchise worries me, but as long as John keeps plugging away, I'm happy. 9 playoff appearances, so not just the future. The past hasn't been great, so tough franchise to run.
Yeah.
Rank them, and then let's take a break.
All right. Definitely Rochester. I'm gonna go with Denver 2. This actually is pretty easy. I'm gonna try this. I guess New Orleans 3. I'm not gonna put Las Vegas up there. Let's go with Fort Collins 4. Why not? Let's just do it. Fort Collins 4, Vegas 5, Durham. Oh, hold on a second.
Galveston in that, yeah.
No. My bad. I'm sorry. Let's do this again. Rochester, Denver, Galveston, New Orleans.
Right.
That's how we're doing it, all right? And then Fort Collins.
Las Vegas, Durham, Tampa.
Yeah, Fort Collins, Las Vegas, Fort Collins, Durham, Tampa Bay.
Okay, Las Vegas, Fort Collins. All right. I'm gonna go Denver. Denver's gonna take it back this year. I got Rochester 2. I've got New Orleans 3. I've got Galveston 4. And then I've got Fort Collins 5, Vegas 6, Durham 7, Tampa Bay 8. All right. I need at least a couple minute break.
Yeah.
Maybe
sounds good. I'll be here. All right.
Such humiliation that I sat and planned retaliation. Using the wiles known to all women, I'd marry that man if it was human. The wedding bells rang, we were one in June. Triumphantly we went on a honeymoon. He held me very tight under stars so bright and whispered, darling, who do you love tonight? I told him, baseball, baseball, the Tigers in baseball, baseball, Ted Williams in baseball, baseball. I love the game baseball, Yankees, Redlegs, Braves, White Sox, Indians, Phillies, Senators, Red Sox, Orioles, Athletics, Pirates, baseball, baseball, baseball.
Take your girl to the ball game any old afternoon. That's the place to propose to Mame, the spot for a sunshiny spoon. Make a fan of your steady girl. If you lose her, I'll take all the blame. In the stand, it's just grand as she squeezes your hand at the old ball game. Make a fan of your just grand as she squeezes your hand at the old ball game.
Now young Jimmy Croker was clerk for a broker. To be a good clerk was his aim. But when the ball season started, then Jim was lighthearted, for baseball was Jim's middle name. To his boss he would say, my poor aunt died today. So his boss said, for heaven's sake, go. Then he'd hike to the bleachers with 6 other screechers and yell if the game was too slow.
Let's get the umpire's goat, goat, goat. Let's make him go up in the air.
We'll yell, oh, you robber, go somewhere and die. Back to the Bush League, you've mud in your eye. Oh, what an awful decision. Why don't you put spectacles on?
Let's holler like sin and then our side will win when the umpire's nanny is gone.
Jimmy kept wishing, in fact his ambition was natural for one of his age. For he wanted to be like Mike Donlin, you see, and play ball or else go on the stage. He knew each player's name and kept tab on the game and could tell you how pennants are won. And each bleacher-eyed fan was with Jim to a man when his home team just needed one run.
Let's get the umpire's goat, goat, goat. Let's make him go up in the air.
We'll yell, oh, you robber, go somewhere and die. Back to the Bush League, you've mud in your eye. Oh, what an awful decision. Why don't you put spectacles on?
Let's holler like sin and then our side will win when the umpire's nanny is gone.
Say, did you hear the news about what's happening in Brooklyn? We really got the blues about what's happening in Brooklyn. It ain't official yet. We hope official it don't get. But beware, my friend, and let me warn you. They're thinking of taking the bums to California. Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. Our house is not a home without some love. Don't let them leave our premises. LA will be their nemesis, 'cause Brooklyn fits the Dodgers like a glove. Mr. Walter O'Malley, we always called you Pally. We stuck with you through thick and thin. But if you take away the Dodgers, guys like Campy, Nuke, and Hodges, we ain't your pal no more the way we've been. Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. Our house is not a home without some love. Don't let them leave our premises. LA would be their nemesis, 'cause Brooklyn fits the Dodgers like a glove. We offer our bridges. You can take them with you. We have a couple we could spare. But we all feel so glum without the Duke and Gilliam. We need one left to jump off in despair. Really, what would Brooklyn be without the Dodgers? Well, Brooklyn would be like a pair of socks that's holy, without Jackson and Somoli. Like a bed without a pillar, without Erskine and Farilla. Like a ship without a harbor, without Padres and the Barber. Like the sun without its shine, without Zimmer and Levine. Like the birds without a bee, without Austin and Pee-wee. And here I am, a poet, and I didn't even know it. So send the Phils to Trenton, the Giants to St. Paul. But keep the bums in Brooklyn, the greatest borough of all. So let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. You heard our plea, at last we had our say. Your mind is in a fog if you take them to that smog. Leave the Dodgers in Brooklyn, USA. We really love them, keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. O'Malley, do me one favor, mind your own business and stay home. Don't leave town.
All right, we're back for division number 2, over to the Sapphire, and we're here with a new GM. We're here with Steve in the Baltimore Blue Crabs. Nice to be with you here, Steve, on the podcast for the first time.
Hello, everybody. The reigning Sapphire champion is happy to be here.
Yes, the reigning Sapphire champion. And we've got 3 OGs, including myself, here on the podcast. There's only 5 of us, 6 of us left in the league, I think.
It is great to hear Steve's voice, because if you only go by the messages, he's a lot more buttoned up when you hear him versus just the messages in Slack.
Notoriously also the most negative, angriest GM in the league, but in real life, a little more pleasant, it seems. So.
Yeah, some days.
Well, anyways, we're happy you're here and happy to join us. And you're just in time, as JR said, because, as you just mentioned, the Sapphire champion last year was the Blue Crabs. So we will break your team down first. What are your thoughts on the 2028 version of Baltimore?
We got ourselves a mix of some youth and a handful of returning players. We've decided to bring up Victor Barbosa, who he was one of those international guys that we signed for $9 million plus 6-7 years ago at this point. 100 guy, rotated through the system. Didn't have his best start of the sim to get going, but by all expectations, we look to see him rush the ball, especially with that gap power in our park. So very hopeful that these bars continue to move and get him get that gap power and that power to fill in, because the team could use it and use his speed at the top of the order. That's our hope with our man Jimmy Regula at the top of the order behind him. Try to get him on, and then Victor will get him in. But didn't work too well the first sim. Victor struggled at the plate in his major league debut.
Yeah, well, it's pretty early, so I won't get too worried about it yet, and sometimes it takes those guys a little bit to get warmed up. You've notoriously always gone pretty lefty-heavy with your lineup, and this year looks no different. You've also got Westbrook there as your ace from the left side, and jokingly, your team always overachieves, I feel like, or at least this kind of shows that I just don't know anything about TBL. Not about TBL, but out of the park. Because I always look at your roster and sometimes at JR's roster, and I just not always impressed, and then you guys always perform really well. I love the fact that you brought in Dave Schaefer 2 years ago. Dude was beast for you in the postseason last year, even though you didn't get to the as far as you wanted to. He's off to a hot start again this year. Probably one of my favorite players in TBL history. So I want to give him a shout out, even though he's 33 now, not looking as pretty as he used to. He's still performing above average. So
he's that veteran that especially the early teams of the early Baltimore days did not have any of that. We started off the draft all those years ago looking for all the young guys, not thinking about it, and we now know that we need that veteran presence. And while I usually don't give out large free agent deals, he looked like the right guy to do that last year. So with his durable stature and that bat from the left side, we needed something like that in the middle of the order, and he definitely delivered.
Yeah, for sure. Again, he's maybe the best player in TBL postseason history by the numbers. So I love bringing in that leadership. I think that was a big move for you. And if you get back this year, it's going to be a pretty competitive division, and the preseason predictions didn't love you. If you get back this year, then I think you'll play another key role. JR, what are your opinions on the Blue Crabs?
I like the fact that his young players are hitting 100. I love that. Now, my question is, how long do you stay? How many plate appearances do you give a young guy who made the jump from AA like Barbosa How long do you stick with him through a tough start? I mean, that's my first question. But
I give him more than 12 games, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, how many?
He's 12. I was just gonna say he's 12 games in. I give him more than that, but I definitely hear your concern there.
But 150 plate appearances. I don't know.
I will say he is getting moved out of the 2-hole. We're going to give him a little break in this next go around. We're going to move him back down in the order, try and let him settle in, not have as much pressure. But I think maybe batting in the 2-hole might have spooked him a little bit. I am a little concerned though on the his strikeout rate. I think it was like 30-some%. You don't have the strikeout piece on there on my side. Yeah, he's striking out 31.4% of the time so far. So a little high for what I'd want. I know he's got 45 Ks, but it's still a little bit too high in the 2-hole for me. So we're gonna move him down for this next sim. Let him get a little more comfortable playing in a major league clubhouse, and hopefully we'll bring him right back up to the 2-hole once he settles in.
Yeah, I love this team. I always mention that this team is constructed along the same lines that the Somerville team is constructed, except that we in Somerville try to get that high-end talent and bring them in every once in a while, and that's it. I mean, the stadiums are almost the same size. It's a monster stadium. Got to play the gaps. It's a team built around speed. I believe Steve has the most stolen bases as a franchise in TBL history. And the pitching's always strong, except for the closer in big spots. Let's see if you can correct that. But it really just, I always say, it always needs one big player in the middle of the lineup to kind of reverberate throughout the lineup.
Yeah, no, we got another one of those guys that's sitting down in Double-A right now. That I want to bring up, but somebody's gonna have to go. So I'm waiting on whoever's going to be that first injury before we bring him up. But our buddy Matt Lamberson is he's waiting to explode as well on the scene. So that we're really looking forward to some of this young talent that we have to mix in around.
Yeah. Lamberson would be playing every day for 90% of the teams in this league right now, and he's in Double-A. So yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at Vicente Chavez, he sort of a weird late bloomer that was able to bring in, and he really did well last year. So it's hard to move him out of there. Yeah, look at those pretty bars on Lamberson right there.
Yeah,
Lamberson looks nice. You've got Gaona up. I'm not sure if you called that out earlier, but number 35 prospect.
Yep. Yeah, he's starting at shortstop. We decided to let outspoken Dave Barnett go last year, and he is now our starting shortstop. So we've got youth up the middle. Yeah, two rookies up the middle at short and center.
The youth is here. Two of your top 50 prospects, both starting this year. Very cool.
The future's bright.
Did we look at your contracts page? If we can get there. By the way, Steve, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm streaming in Discord, so if you want to follow along in real time, you can.
Okay. I got the YouTube up on my computer as well as the game.
Word. Yeah, that might be a little delayed on you. Looking at the contracts, I mean, you're not out of control with anything. You've got some money committed. You're another big market team. You've done really well. 14 playoff appearances in 27 seasons. And your fan loyalty is high. You're just taking a look at it. Again, fan interest is up there. So, yeah, you've got the third biggest payroll in the TBL. You've got money committed, but you've got some flexibility as you look at kind of future seasons as well. So,
yeah,
don't hate.
And I'm still, I'm one of those that I still have yet to ever move scouting off of 30? Scouting or the other one off of it. So I still have all that money. I know Jay dumps a lot of that money in because he doesn't have any prospects when he goes for it. But I'm a sucker for keeping all that money on scouting.
Yeah, I'll touch
on scouting on development, I should say.
Right. I'll touch up the scouting budget, but I try to keep the development up there as well. And I will confess I've dipped into that a little bit, I think, in the last few years. So Great. All right, that's enough
Yeah.
on. Well, unless you got anything out the door, Jay.
No, I love the way the payroll, the team salary looks. It's a lot of control. Everybody's is under control, and if they're not controllable, they're probably not going to be on the roster much longer. So I mean, just in general, to start the season. So there's a continuity outside of where the franchise actually plays. There's a continuity in Baltimore, Washington, Baltimore, Landover, whatever.
Whatever city this week.
Yeah, whatever. If you choose to move to another city, where would you go? I think you mentioned it.
Where would I go? I don't know where I'd go. I'd probably move across the country just so I could try and get into the other conference.
Yeah, there's no Los Angeles team.
Yeah, there was. It's funny. Before the inaugural draft, there was someone who was Los Angeles and they bailed, and then since then it's been vacant. So, all right. I am almost afraid to ask Steve. What are your expectations for the season? And then we'll move on.
If we don't make the playoffs, it's a disaster.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
Utter disaster. We better this team better make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you're Dave Schaefer's wife, do not unpack anything. You will
Exactly.
Your husband will be on the trade block tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, he already is. He already is because we want to get Lamberson in the lineup. So he is.
Everybody lives in corporate housing in your franchise. They're not. They don't buy.
We own a complex, and they all have penthouses.
So you're gonna have to overcome the preseason predictions to make the playoffs because right now they have you out. So hated on the preseason.
They're biased to the rookies.
For sure, they don't always come out as they look, and I think you got a good point there. The rookies aren't really weighed in very much. So, all right, who's on to number 2? Was that you in Somerville or who? It was.
I don't know. Did we finish second or third last? I don't remember.
Second place, 97 and 65, JR.
All right.
Thoughts on your team this year? I'll let you take over.
They're young, but Reyna and Posey are the engine that drive this whole thing. And outside of that, I have a young ace that has introduced himself to the league, in Bob Reyes, and he strikes everybody out, which is the good thing. I think he just had 13 Ks. Looking at the screen there, and he's also a guy who had a monster postseason. As far as he just struck everybody out when I put him in there, and he doesn't have much experience, but he was so good that we had to lock him up to a 5-year deal just so he doesn't ask for $40 million one day. Just out of nowhere. So that's what we did with him. And I don't know, that's the one player that is on the roster currently. Just like Steve, I got some guys in AAA. I think AAA now that are who I consider to be future stars. But team is speed, fielding. We strike out a ton of people. We don't strike out at the plate, and that's really it. Jose Lopez is the third cog, I would say, and then everybody else is, we've looking at Snyder right there. We've had a lot of players for a long time. We don't get rid of good players. Just never want to get rid of a good player. So, this is what it is. I think Posey, I guess he had, he's I don't know if he's the number 1 player in the league or whatever OSA wants to call it, but he had a great year last year. But it's for our team, it's a lot of the same stuff. Anytime I come on this podcast, it's the same guys. It's the same formula. I don't know how many years in a row we've made the playoffs. It doesn't matter anymore because I mentioned before, maybe I want to be in the lottery this time. I don't know. But, it's, number 1 budget. That's our championship. How about that? Number one budget. Screw everybody else. So there you go.
I mean, you're projected to win the division again this year, 96 and 66. We'll see if that turns out. You get off to a slow start. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Posey, I see you finally had to pay him because he was on a steal of a contract before.
Yeah, and I think it's a steal of an extension because it really doesn't hit a certain level. The interesting thing about Reyna and Posey is I never touched their ask. I just gave them what they asked for. So whatever it was is what they got. And that allows me to build a roster around them both without overextending myself. And I like to keep a payroll around 160 to 170 million preseason. Dump that 30 million into dev. A little bit into scouting, and we're always participating in IAFA. And, it's been a good formula. Just haven't cashed in. I'm hoping guys like Reyes, I have some pitchers that are on their way. They're close. That hopefully they change the fortunes of the franchise. My favorite scouting service, DSA, which I just, I looked at it today. And DSA, I think, has us as a number 2 organization as far as pitching prospects. So I expect to see that come to fruition at some point. Number 1 is Oahu, so who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. It's got you ranked 4th overall. We actually should mention DSA has Baltimore ranked 2nd overall, 1st with batting. So you guys are both highly regarded in that sense on the DSA list. I'm number 6, so I think everybody here on the podcast is a fan of the DSA list. But I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Steve, what are your thoughts on your division rival here that you eliminated from the playoffs last year? I guess we should just sprinkle that in.
Oh, that happened. That's right.
It did happen. Yep. And it's funny,
for the first time in TBL history. It's like 1 in 6 probably.
You did. Have you guys played a lot in the playoffs? I guess I haven't felt that vibe.
I don't know what the record is. I know I don't think I've ever lost. I think that's the first time I lost to Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, I try every time I lose. I try to just erase it from my memory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
I just move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean sometimes by game 2 you move on to the next one. So
usually yes, 100%. And sometimes the first game isn't even over. Yeah. And I'm already on to the next season.
Yep. I thought it was funny though. Last year, JR called out your bullpen, and then his bullpen blew a pretty substantial game.
Yes, it did.
Game 2 or game 3, 9th inning lead. So. But what are your thoughts on the money line here, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, it's I would say, out of no offense to anybody, I mean, definitely my longest standing division rival. I do think he mentioned it. I think we build very similar style teams. I mean, I look at Lopez and his profile. I mean, that's it. While the speed might not 100% be there and getting the stolen bases, it gives me Brett Cox vibes with that gap power and the ability to get on base. Doesn't have the average that Cox necessarily did, but it's that sort of it's
I like how this turned into the Cox.
It did, of course. I turned it to myself.
I voted for the guy. Okay.
I know. At some point he's going to get in. At some point, even if I just ram him in there some way. But no, I mean, that 1, 2, 3 of the order, like if you can get through that, you'll be lucky not to have anybody on base. There's no real break in the lineup, and that sometimes you look at some of these guys' teams, you're like, oh hey, once we get to the 4 or 5 hole, we can get to the back end. But his guys seem to always perform, always seem to put the ball in play, and the consistency is there year in, year out. So kudos to the team you've put together.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even talk about the offense. I think that the preseason prediction had us at 800 runs, which is for that prediction. I mean, we led the league in runs last year, but there's no other team really close to 800, maybe Bighorn in that projection. So I don't know how good this I don't think it could be that much better than the second best offensive team, but they do a good job with the offense. Posey and Reyna are tough. They're just tough.
Yeah, looking. I was just gonna say, looking at Posey and Reyna, player rankings, first and third. Reyna's actually still first. Posey's third. I do just want to point out, Sadeo Suzuki is number 7 on this list. So, haters gonna hate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, whatever. Guy's not a top 10 player, but carry on.
Yeah. Let's look at the salaries here for the money line. Reyna's locked up for a long time. Posey, like I just said, locked up for a long time now. So you're committed to your 2 big dogs. Hopefully they can continue to stay, premium level through the end of those contracts. Or we might see you have to go to a rebuild for the first time ever, right? Maybe not.
Well, no, because if my bats on the way are gonna
fill in,
carry us a little bit as well. Okay. So I think I have a couple bats that
we'll take a look at
are gonna fit right in.
We'll take a look at that in a second. Yeah. Everything else is pretty flexible. It looks like you've kind of flexed into the team option vibe a little bit.
I've always done it. Some of the guys are just too dog shit for me to do it too.
I've always really attributed this to Andrew in Virginia, who's no longer with us, but he had a lot of guys on double team options like this, and I've now seen it by like 4 or 5 GMs are kind of doing this now.
I've gotten burned with the guys who have low financial or the greedy guys. The greedy guys I never want to extend because they're playing for the money, right? So that's the carrot that they're chasing. And it burned me a little bit, extending a greedy guy, because then they just stop playing. They're like, all right, I already got what I got now, so why would I try harder? But the low financial, I should say the non-greedy guys are the guys that really help my payroll out. There's a bunch of them on my team. Yeah. They don't ask for much.
It's really, it's not a strategy I've really thought about, or like, I always draft, in terms of, when I'm paying attention, high work ethic guys. I feel like that's really helpful to do. Always looking for like leadership guys, but you're right. The low greed, attribute, if you can like acquire a lot of those guys who are major league level, like that can certainly help you. Fill in more of the positions and be more competitive all around your roster. All right. Your system. It's all right. Who are you talking about that's close? You get a lot of guys in AAA here.
I mean, Butterfield's going to be an all-star the minute I put him in the lineup. Put it that way. Because he could play it all. He could play a right field. He's a switch hitter. I'm not. He's tearing apart levels. There's another guy, Edgar. I got too many outfielders in AAA. Let's put it that way. Todd Taylor is another guy who's actually probably going to get called up this sim. I mean, there's a bunch of pitchers that OSA has no idea about that aren't even on here, which we'll not mention because I don't want to really deal with people trying to, pick them off in Rule 5 or in the trade market. But I think, Jason Sage is a guy you just, I think, scrolled over it. I think that guy's a future lights out closer, number 17 guy there.
Can we look at Bob Nelson? Go to the scouting.
Stay away from Bob Nelson.
Like,
Jay tried to steal him.
23rd round.
Where's Bob Nelson?
Well, that's all my pitchers. I got a bunch of guys. I have a bunch of future. There's another guy, Jeremy George, who's a 17th round.
What do we like or not like about Bob Nelson? Just asking.
Go to the scouting one. This guy gets drafted as a 2035 and is now 35-70.
Well,
come on.
Well, OSA's got him 35-50. I've got him 35-70. Like, look at his pitches.
My pitching coaches are amazing.
Why is this, though?
That's all I gotta say.
Is he getting a ton of rating because of his stamina and holds runners, though? And does that really matter?
No, but of his performance. The guy...
Is it just performance, too? Is that, like, a huge part of...
Well, that's part... Look at you can go to My Scout if you want.
I see how he's doing. He's doing great.
Yeah, he doesn't not get people out. If you go to a scout, I mean, this is a segue. This is something that's it's more than a theory of mine. It's something where the the scout is going to be wrong 75% of the time, maybe 65% of the time. I don't know. But so when you're in the late round of drafts, I like archetypes versus actual ratings. And you see how many times I scouted certain guys.
Future rotation anchor, it says.
Yeah. So my scout's amazing. But there's a bar under the scouting if you can go to my actual scout.
I am. This is you.
No, I mean the actual personnel. Yeah. So there's this dumb bar, right? These bars in the middle: current year stats, last year stats, 2 years ago stats, whatever it may be. Yeah. If you look at the empty amount of space, there's like 65% of shit he does not know. He has no idea about. I got to do it for him, whatever. And that applies to real life. You know, you're a New York Giants fan, Paul. You know that our GM can't get any picks right. So these things apply, right? And they're like, oh, these guys are great. They're great for, executives, all this stuff. But what they don't know, you got to kind of, point them in the direction of knowing. And we're going to draft certain guys, and Bob Nelson fit that archetype in our organization. And we have a bunch of those guys that are in a double-digit round. So keep trading me those picks. Let's do those first rounders for a bunch of pick trades. We love them. And, we'll go from there.
This is the first time I've podcasted with you a couple times, but this is the first time I'm going to ask you guys to add JR to the no trade embargo list. No longer give him these late round picks. Because that's some crazy shit right there. You're not wrong at all. I've never looked at that.
Well, if you go to the info and draft, I'm not going to have you go through, because this is actually bad for me. I shouldn't be talking about any of this whatsoever. Never mind, actually. Don't do anything.
That's fine.
Move on to the next team.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next team. We do have to talk about the one elephant because I have you both here. 0 championships in 56 combined years. 54.
Nobody cares about that.
You guys must have like a side bet at this point, right? Like who's going to get the first one?
At some point, we're just going to act like Jay and Mike, and we're just going to make one super team.
Yeah.
At some point, we're just going to take over the league, and we're just going to trade people back and forth to each other.
Yeah. No, you guys have been killers for a long time here in the league. So
yeah, it really goes to the strength of the Jade. First off, the Sapphire was the strongest division, period, when this thing started. After the inaugural draft,
yeah, first 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous because the teams had $250 million payrolls and whatever, and so we had to be good because we made we're all right then. We're making the playoffs every once in a while then. And then the Jade came up. And then, it's just like they had a bunch of super teams. So I think that, it's only year 28 of the TBL. Let's see what happens in year 50 or 75 or whatever it may be. Let's see who really has the juice.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We've talked about you gentlemen for a good minute. Who is number 3 in this division? You guys should know. Who's your biggest competitor? It's got to be Carolina, right?
New York, I think.
Carolina.
It is New York. Yeah.
It is New York.
I thought Carolina. JG.
Yeah, Carolina's 4th.
JG. This team's been a disappointment over the last few years. I'm just going to say it. Win a lot of games, do nothing in the playoffs. They're super scary looking on paper. They play well in the regular season, and then just a flop, right? Like who'd they lose to this last? Was this who you beat, Steve, or in the first round?
I think I beat them first round.
Okay.
Did I?
Yeah, no, I think you might.
I played New Orleans in the first round last year.
Great.
Yeah.
So So lost to Somerville in 6. Even though they've won like 95 plus for a couple seasons in a row now. Let's take a look at their history. What are your thoughts on this team in 2028 and just in general? Obviously, they won a championship, so not to rub that in anybody's face, but they did win a championship in 2021, and they are an expansion team. So JG's done a really incredible job. I'm going to give him a ton of credit here for getting this team into a perennial contender. We do have them at the preseason prediction here of only winning 73 games, so maybe taking a step back this year. We'll see if that actually happens, but I'll let you guys take over. What are your thoughts?
I gotta be nice here because the team is built ethically. There's no. There seems like there's no holes. They win 195 games, and they have a great rotation. They have a superstar, and I don't know how they fall short every time in the way they do. Finishing third in the division is just tells you that the division is very strong. So between the Somerville, Baltimore, Carolina, and New York teams, you can just, I think, be the 4 playoff teams again, and you can just shuffle those up, and whoever finishes first. I think he also had a challenge with payroll. This is a very high-priced team. It was a very expensive team last year. And even this year, 197 is pretty high. So he had to make some decisions. BJ Reyna's on the block now because probably, he can't afford him.
Yeah, he is the number 1 payroll in the TBL. Yeah. So you're right on there.
Yeah, so big payroll, tons of talent, and when you look at it through that lens, it is underachieving, even though I think that it's just a matter of, chance and being in a tough division and a tough conference.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I'd kill to have those top 3 at the rotation. I mean, my rotation is not bad, but Perez, Lott, and Reyna, I'd love to have those 3 sitting at the top. So I definitely think there is some underachievement there. For you get into a playoff series and get to roll those 3 out. You should definitely be winning at least 2, if not all 3 of those games. So, I mean, I don't know if he's fallen short, if it's the bats, if spending too much on the pitching and not having enough quality depth within the batting side of it. But I mean, looks like he's got some quality guys, but nobody. I mean, Eaton's still getting his work in. He's still solid there. Rich Reinhardt doing his thing in the middle of the order, but it seems like outside of a couple of those guys, the rest are not doing what they need to really support that starting pitching staff.
Yeah. I feel like, outside of Posey and Reyna, that 2, 3, and 4 here, Stone, Eaton, Reinhardt are, that's just like a deadly combo. And then you add the 3 pitching, the starting pitchers that you mentioned there. It's hard to see how this team isn't a championship contender year in and year out, and actually think they are. They just, like I said, they've been underachieving, but I don't write them off. I don't think the preseason predictions are right. I think you're right. This is a contender this year for sure. The only thing that kind of I flag, these guys are getting a little older, so the window's closing for the Empire, and at some point we're going to be in rebuild mode. Reinhardt's 32. We've got Eaton at 31. Stone, 29. So, decisions to be made in the next few years, I guess.
I think their style of play really fits their ballpark. So they usually hit a ton of home runs. It's a bandbox. And in our conference, there are a lot of teams, New Orleans, Baltimore, Somerville, there's a few others, Carolina, who have huge outfields, and we play the game a certain way. We have to, have a little speed, have a little gap. When we go into a ballpark like this, we may be on equal footing. When he goes in our ballpark, he may not be.
Someone needs
to pop one out.
Someone needs to make up a ballpark 1 sheet so we can map all this out and have it all in one place. Because I feel like every podcast we get through, and be like, oh, this is their ballpark. But it is fascinating. You've got a great point. Like, this ballpark is drastically different than both of yours, which is very outfield friendly. And this is this is like legit Yankee Stadium. Large part.
Yeah. So, I think when this team comes into Somerville, and we play our game and they're hitting long fly ball outs, then yeah, that's how that happens. We put the bat on ball against their good pitching, and they're hitting long fly balls.
Yeah, I mean, it puts them in a conundrum, right? Because you guys are candidly like usually the rivals towards the end of the season, and you've got very different parks. So like, do you build your ball club to accommodate your home club kind of setting where you play 81 games a year, or do you build your ball club to compete against Somerville and compete against Washington? You have to make a choice, or
you got to do both.
Yeah, or
you got to do both.
I mean, maybe you build it for home, and you have to win that division, and then hope you win your home games in the playoffs, which again hasn't happened, unfortunately. So,
well, a lot of its approach. I don't know how many people pay attention to the batted ball profile of their hitters. I think he's got all line drive guys. But I don't know if he strikes out. If you strike out a lot, if you have guys who don't make productive outs, yeah, they'll come back and get you.
Yeah. Contracts. Eaton coming off the books here. He's been MVP worthy. So I don't know if he tries to re-sign Eaton. What do you guys think?
Re-sign him.
Shane Drew, same situation. I don't know if just given the situation with the other contracts, I don't know if you pay him. I think he walks, so I think we'll see him in the free agent pool next year. We've got Perez locked up for a couple seasons, so he's committed to the starting pitching, committed to this shortstop here, which actually I like the shortstop a lot. So, although he strikes out a lot, but that's okay. So, yeah, I think they'll be competitive.
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. Meaning, yeah, like they're going to be good next year and the year after that and whatever.
Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how. It would just be interesting to see how some of these guys age, though, as they're getting to that age 30 season and beyond.
Yeah, the pitchers you never know about, right?
Yep.
I'm almost to the point where there's virtually no pitcher I'm giving a long-term deal to after 30.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm almost to that
agree.
point.
It's got to be part of the settings of the league, which, it is what it is at this point. I'm not changing anything. We've got our atmosphere, but
I was looking at the box scores, and the amount of strikeouts and walks are crazy. So, to get through 5 innings is 100 plus pitches because of strikeout. Yeah, so it's not, looking at how the league has started, lowest batting average, we're under 4 runs a game for the first, couple weeks, and the most amount of fly balls.
I'll be honest, I feel like you guys look at the analytics a lot better than I do. And I have a mad respect for Ryan in the Mudcats GM, who runs another league that I used to be a part of, who really can dive into this stuff as well. So if there's tweaking that needs to happen because like stats are like way out of line in one area or another, we should definitely take a look at that, and I can definitely
hold on. You could do whatever. The great thing about the history of baseball is that the owners have gotten together and they've done this stuff, right? So steroids or
there's full control, I guess, is what I'm saying. So
if you want to bring steroids, do it.
You guys remember 2005 or 2006? We made the adjustment, right? Because like the ERAs were getting so low across the league. Like there's a lot of home runs being hit, but there wasn't a lot of like offense. And then I made that adjustment. ERA literally went up by like a run per game across the league. And I don't know. A couple of years it was a little choppy, but then everybody adjusted, and it is what it is, and it's distant memory now. So like if we need to make another adjustment like that, I just want to.
Well, I don't know what could be. I don't know the way the adjustments are made.
Well, same. I'd have to do some research, but I'm just saying like the proposals channel is there for a reason. So if you see things that are out of whack, like you just mentioned a couple things, and maybe you like it like that, that's fine. We can keep it. I'm just saying like if you see things that are out of whack that just like don't align with like realisticness, we should definitely try to do a little tweaking, I think. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, going off on a tangent. Empire looking good this year. Number 4, Carolina, is up next. We're definitely going a while on the Sapphires, so let's
Yeah.
I'm keeping a clock, and honestly, we've kept every team between 5 and 10 minutes, with the exception of maybe Somerville here.
Yeah. And our teams. And we could spend some good time on Carolina, and then the rest of the teams we can spend 2 minutes on.
Hey, Montreal is predicted to win 90 games this year, so we maybe got to take a look there.
That's great. That's great.
All right. Disrespect to Josh and the Machine. We'll take a look here.
A long season. It's a long season.
That's true. Carolina Reapers. Let's take a look at Mike's team. He's obviously done a great job with this franchise. What do you guys think of the 2028 version of the Reapers? Go ahead. Steve, start us off. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's got a decent mix of guys out there. I mean, I'm Victor Gonzalez is an interesting 21-year-old fan favorite already, but glaringly doesn't have much power, which is a profile that obviously I like, but for a DH, I'd probably want a little bit of power out of my DH, but that's just me. But I definitely like that guy's profile. I mean, looking at his guys, he looks to be not to say trying to build what JR and I have with our profiles, but he's got a few of those guys out there. Same thing with Menahem and even Hoffman. Like, there are a lot of gap BABIP guys trying to get that contact. I like a lot of those guys from that perspective. I think just the one piece with Gonzalez, again, I'd want a DH with bringing some thump in the middle of the lineup. That would be one of my only downsides.
Yeah, this team changes a lot throughout like every season, and I agree with
the market he's in.
Yeah, that's right. The budget is never supple. So Victor Gonzalez, I think, is a leadoff guy, and the shortstop's a AAA player. That's maybe nitpicking because ultimately this is the best defensive team, usually in the division, if not conference, and he does a good. He always has good pitching. Like, now the pitching in Carolina is it's right where it may be in New York as far as the starting rotation is concerned, and that's it. I mean, it's really it's built a lot like our teams, like Steve mentioned, but there's a couple of subtle differences, and there's some small market things going on that he has to make certain deals and make decisions on players just because of his constraints.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just took a look at his ballpark. His ballpark is very similar to ours as well, where it low ratios for home runs and big again on the gap. So those profiles fit well.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. No, I totally agree with all your guys'.
Retractable roof and AstroTurf. Must be nice. I'd like to put a retractable roof on my stadium.
It sounds like the old Skydome.
Now I'm kind of curious. What are you? Grass? And...
Yeah, you know who has to deal with rain delays? Me.
Open ballpark. All right.
I want a roof on there one day. Thank you.
Baltimore's got the retractable as well, so.
Yeah, for all three places we played.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They keep building me ballparks like that.
Yeah. Well, same one.
Actually, Steve, I don't know if you remember this detail, but you could have reset your ballpark factors every time you move. So if you relocate again, it's in the cards.
Yeah, I thought about it, but at that point in time, we needed to keep the ball in the ballpark.
Yeah, fair. Might be news to Mike as well. I don't even know if I mentioned that rule to him. So the Reapers are playing in a ballpark right now, but maybe they were rebuilding one, and I can give him that option if he wants to change it. Nothing really committed salary-wise, and like you said, this team has to stay flexible, has to be a chameleon in terms of contracts. Guerra is the highest-paid player on the team, $26 million, and the dude's pitched pretty well. This is one of those guys, I think last time when we did the podcast right before the playoffs last year, I pointed out, like, don't really get his profile, but he pitches great, and that's what counts.
set control.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, thoughts on this team in terms of expectations this year? Competitive again?
I think wild card. I mean, I think they're competitive, but I think they're wild card. I don't think they can win the division. Of course, I just jinxed it, but I would say wild card contender.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they're a shoo-in for a wild card. I think the 4 top teams in this. I think this is the toughest top of the division in the TBL between the 4 teams here.
Yeah, Carolina preseason again predictions 90-72, so predicted to be there again. Take a look at the history because we have to give Mike all the credit here. This team was in the dumps before he took over, and if he's somehow able to make the playoffs again, be the 5th year in a row after only making it 3 straight seasons back in 2008, 9, and 10. So they've been what was historically the worst franchise when he took over, and he's done a great job rebuilding them. So he's really proven his talent, and the only thing left is to win a championship, which a lot of people in the Sapphire.
That's great. All right.
I know.
Yes,
I keep rubbing it, and I can't help it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It's too fun for me.
I am leaving as soon as I win it. I'm leaving.
I know, that's what I'm worried about. I hope I keep stringing you guys along with like this carrot of a championship.
No, I know. It's like it's re-energizing every season after I lose. I have like so much motivation, and I'm like, it's the drug of this game. If I win, forget it. It's done. If I win like back to back like Rochester, yeah.
I'm telling you, I won in 2016, and the league almost shut down in 2017. I was like, all right, what am I doing anymore? All right, let's move on. Did we look at the pipeline? I'm starting to lose my memory here. Carolina, kind of a shallow pipeline, not a ton of depth, but they do have some top end talent.
Who's that guy? Yeah, Arvizu. He's only 19. Yeah. He doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty shallow system.
Yeah, he's been making some moves that I'm not going to say they mortgage the future, but he's been trading picks. I think he's in the draft right now. I think he had a pick until the 3rd.
He's only had 1 pick so far.
Second round. Much like Jay, he's gonna trade for a good player.
Yeah, I mean, I root for this team. I know he's your rival, but I root for this team to continue to have success. Let's get over to him real quick. Lost this. Just to continue to be able to build this up, because none of this was his fault, right? So hopefully he's able to just sustain this winning streak for a couple more seasons, get that fan loyalty back up towards average, and at some point he's gonna have to rebuild. But then hopefully he can get another window here in the future. But I do think his window's right now. He's going to compete with the other teams we've looked at so far. This is an old owner. You were talking about the other guy being 70 something. This guy's 83. This guy's going to die next year or in the next 3 years. All right. By the way, JR, your mic cut out. I don't know if you're still there, but I heard it do like a radio fuzzy thing. So on to team number 5 here. I think that was Montreal. 5th place, 78-84. Had a great start to the season and faded in the last 2 months and missed the playoffs. I know Josh has gotten closer and closer year after year. Is this the year? They do have a pretty good prediction in the preseason predictions, 90-72. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, I'd like to try and pry Eric Tanguy away from him. I think that dude's a stud. Fits the profile that I really enjoy. Not too often you see an 82nd baseman rating, which is pretty crazy with 75 range. I wonder how he'd play it short, but definitely a stellar defender there.
Yeah, 6th overall pick. He put up 7 WAR last year. Like, super impressive season. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember what Posey won the MVP, I think, but I think this guy's probably like 2nd place.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had a 17.6 zone rating last year at second base. I mean, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a stud in the middle of the lineup there. I'd have him probably batting leadoff, just to take advantage of him and try to get him as many as bats as you could. But I definitely think as you kind of go down, I do like Muniz as well as catcher. I do like what he's got. He's solid from that perspective. Hasn't had a great start to the year, but I do like that guy. So he's got some pieces there. I just don't know if it's enough to compete with the other teams that we've talked about. And I think he's also one of the ones too. If you look at his budget and his payroll, he's also a little hamstrung, and he's got an interfering owner, which probably doesn't help.
Well, actually, so I've got all ownership turned off, I think.
Oh, okay.
So owners don't really impact anything in this league.
Gotcha.
What they typically used to impact was budget, and we set that based off of revenue. So I've really taken a lot of the power out of their hands.
Got it. So yeah, I just he's got some pieces. I just don't know if it's enough across the board to compete day in, day out. But that's just me.
I think Dean Silvucci is worth looking at. This guy here, he's last year was his rookie year, so sophomore year here, 12th overall pick in 2025. I think he's a nice looking piece. Doesn't get injured. Maybe I know you hate the no contact guys, strike out a lot of guys, right? But
yeah, I like the Salvucci. I like his things. It's that 35 avoid Ks that gets me. I mean, he's got one of those guys, Lee, on my team who's a captain, which I want to get rid of, but I don't have another replacement captain. So you like to have this guy around to come off the bench and hit you a bomb. It's just, is he going to hit the ball? If he hits the ball, it's going to go far. But if he's not, it's getting thrown around the diamond as he's walking back to the bench.
Yeah, it is almost a waste.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, JR. Yep.
I got it.
It is almost a waste of the speed, right? Because he's not going to get on base a lot. It's going to go. I mean, he's got the high gap power, but not a lot of contact. JR, what are your thoughts on this team?
Three true outcome team. So this is another stadium deal, right? Nothing but home runs happen in Montreal. And let's see, last year he led the league in strikeouts. His hitters struck out the most. They were 3rd in walks, and they were 5th in home runs. So if he has a good year with those 3 true outcomes, I think that he could pressure somebody for the last wild card spot. But it's not as complete as the rest of the teams. This is a team that would do well in the other conference, just over time.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we're gonna do it. But
they came too hard with the no championship thing, huh? You're just gonna go off the whole
I mean, it's true. It's true, though. I mean, this is not a poorly run team. It just happens to be in a tough conference or tough division. And if you put a team like this in a Ruby, he's in there every year. I said it.
I will say, just looking at this team, the pitching underwhelms me, and it is a offensive heavy home ballpark. So not having strong pitching it's just like a coin flip in my opinion. So it's hard to see how that's going to turn out. I will say, although the home runs do fly in this park, unlike some of the others in this conference, it's not like the offense is terrible. Like, these aren't too far off of the average. So it's not like some of the parks like Rochester or Virginia where we see it's like really pitcher friendly. Or what's the other one? Kansas City. I think it's crazy pitcher friendly. So,
his staff is good. The staff is good. They don't let up a lot of runs there, so it's about getting lucky with the 3-run home run for them.
Yeah, Jorge's been really good coming over as an international guy. All right, anyways, let's take a look at these salaries here. What do we think of the way he's managed his system in that sense? Jose Quintanilla, $18 million a year for the next 4 years. This guy's been pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if he's worth the type of lockup money that he gave him, but there's no real commitment to anybody spectacular on this team.
But if you add up Sanchez, Drew, Mouton, and Quintanilla, it's not good. And those players, see, that's 50-something million, 52 million. And then it goes down a little, but those aren't the players that you want that much money locked up into.
For sure, at least not that far into the future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 131 million on the books this year, and we've got that much or more until 2031. So it just locks you into not having any flexibility. And if any of these guys fall off, it really impairs you.
Yeah, I mean, Sanchez, he'd be a negative WAR player last year if it wasn't for his defense.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know he's down there, and you want to have that sort of cornerstone defense guy, but he definitely is not helping you out from a at the plate standpoint.
Yeah, to me, he's a great backup, if anything, where he can play all three positions. Great defender.
Yeah, there's a point where you gotta decide what type of team you're gonna be with players like Sanchez, because ultimately you may just want to put a bat out there, and who cares about a couple ground balls.
My goal is to see no more guys like Alex Drew who are not in the best health, signed to multi-year deals. That's just not something that's going to help you win. So that's a flag for me.
Yeah, and even Hangny's injury page is kind of ridiculous. So you got to do something to mitigate. Maybe time in the field, maybe something else. I don't know. Making him a DH a little bit more often.
Yeah, sub him out every.
Just don't have him run all the time.
Sub in, have him every fourth game or something.
Yeah.
Luckily, he hasn't done anything too long term here. I mean, 1 week is 1-2 weeks.
But they're all moderate.
Yeah, day to day though too, for the most part.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, no, he's got Tanguy locked up. That's another one I missed, just looking down the list with $25 million a year. So I don't hate that contract. He's been pretty good. All right, system real quick, and then on to the next one. Ooh, not the team we want. Thoughts, not super deep. I've got 80 on Alex Melendez.
16 years old.
I was gonna say my scout
got a ways to go.
Guys like this, huh? My scout loves the power eyes. He's like Jimmy Terry.
Yeah, let's.
He's terrible.
Yeah. What about who's that? Gabe Brock. I haven't seen that guy.
Let's take a look.
He's 23.
Might need to shift
so this is interesting now.
Second base, but I don't dislike this profile.
He can play third. He's a college bat. Looks like he did a good job at A-ball. So
fourth overall.
Never know with these guys. It's still early.
Yep. Yeah, no, I root for Josh. This team, we haven't talked about the history here. Again, this is another, not all your fault, but this is, I think, the longest drought in the TBL in terms of playoff appearance. Tied with one other team, I think Durham as well. So 2009 is the last time we've seen the machine in the playoffs, and hopefully, 70 to 80 wins going back to 2018. So it's been a decade of mediocre 500 baseball.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Ruby division does. That'd be 90 wins over there.
Yeah, okay. Might be right. Might be 80 wins.
No,
maybe 80 wins, but maybe not 90 wins. But you're right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he got through most of the season last year, and then he got into division play, and he got walloped.
Yep.
And that was it. So rooting for you, Josh. Hopefully you can break through. Again, preseason predictions very, very favorable, 90 and 72. Let's see if it comes to fruition. On to team number 6 in the league. Or is it 5? 6. I think it was Philadelphia. Nope. Toronto. The up-and-coming Griffins and an optimistic GM in the chat. Kevin seems to think that the Griffins are back. What do you guys think?
They're not back yet. But I see a bunch of Somerville names here that are doing well for him. I don't think that they're far off. I just, it's one of those prove it things, and you got to prove it somewhere. Yes. I just don't see. I don't know who is going to carry them. So when I say a couple Somerville names, I see a guy who's, the shortstop's going to get injured instantly. So I don't trust everybody on there. I mean, he's got a guy in the rotation, Xavier Gaines, who's already out, and see how the rotation picks up around him. Got Greg Tarver. He ain't going to be healthy forever. So William Zoll, another guy who probably won't be healthy forever. But right now, they look good on paper.
Yeah, I'm still confused by how Figueroa puts up numbers with those bars. But that's just me.
I mean, it's
had a pretty bad sophomore year.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's a good-looking player. I mean, I guess he's got. I show him he's got 60 power from the right-handed side, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a profile that hits 38 and 109. I don't know if that's a Park thing, but he's a good. He got lucky
player. 1 year. Yeah, I think it's a 1 year thing.
He's off to a hot start, but doesn't mean anything. You're right. This might be the most injury.
I don't know.
Riddled team by the end of the season. Like, I just see names on here that I recognize just because of how injured they get. Tarver, like you said, William Zoll. These are like vets that are on the disabled list for 2 months every single year.
Yeah, all these guys.
Yeah. Kevin's been building this team for a long time, though, or at least doing this rebuild for a long time. So hopefully not all his prospects. Manriquez, who you just pointed out, the shortstop, he's 30 years old, so this isn't part of the future here. I haven't looked through everybody here, but I feel like he should have a lot of young talents coming up, I'd think, unless he hasn't been super successful at drafting. But no, he's got a pretty good system, I think. And he seems to think that most of them are there or close, I think, by his comments. Well, he'll have to, kind of confirm that shit in chat, but MacArthur's up. Looks like he's coming out of the bullpen, but looks like a future starter with that stamina and holds runners, 4 pitches.
It appears he knows what he's doing as far as rebuilding. It's not enough just to trade away guys. It's not enough just to, make the picks. You got to develop them. I think that's happening here. I think.
Yeah, when he's ready to get back there, I mean, it's not going to be the longest climb ever. This team's had success in the past. 12 playoff appearances, 2 championships. Once they start winning, the fans will come back to the ballpark. His payroll will go up. He'll be able to purchase players. So he's in a pretty good situation.
All that stuff happened in New York.
It did, yes.
The Toronto fans don't know about it.
Yes. It still confuses me that this was once New York.
Yeah.
New York was once Syracuse. That still gets to me.
Syracuse really wanted to go to New York, and that was the cleanest way to do it. So.
I haven't figured that out yet. I still look at New York like the Griffins or whatever.
Yep.
That's fair. I don't know. I don't remember when this team moved specifically. I think they were in the playoffs for Toronto as a while in here. But again, this isn't like some of the teams we've seen where it's a much more challenging rebuild.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Toronto being good because I think that really jams up the division here. So,
Preseason predictions has them at 92-70. So another strong finish. See if it comes true. Anything else on this team? Metzger is great on the back end. We probably should spend a little more time on this team. It's been like 4.5 minutes. We're pretty quick on the Griffins, but Metzger's kind of off to a shitty start. But
yeah, I did try to actually. I tried to sign Metzger. He what did he get him for? What's his price tag?
$16 million a year for a closer. I feel like that's like really good.
Yeah, I bid on him and did not. He took his money instead of mine.
He's been a wandering player for the last few years. Or he got traded, I guess I should say. Now he's on to his third team.
Did he? No, I'm thinking of a different guy then. Or wait, no, he was a free agent this past year.
Yes, this past year. He got traded last year. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, he was the one who didn't take my money. That's all right.
Zuma Oda. This is one of the international guys. This is actually probably the shiniest of those international guys that come in. I don't know. He's off to a pretty bad start. We'll see what he becomes, but he got paid $10 million a year for the next 4 years. So hopefully he's not a negative WAR player. What do you guys feel about, or how do you guys feel, excuse me, about the international guys that come in that are like already established? Because I do have that kind of cranked up high settings wise in this league, so that we kind of get these like random players that just.
I never bid on him.
It's really paid off for the Chili Picantes, like Kinro Iwa. That guy's been really good.
I don't trust him. I just don't trust these guys for what I'm paying.
I don't either. And sometimes by the time you actually get to scout them, somebody's already grabbed them.
Yeah.
So
because people gamble early on them, right?
Yeah, and I'm not willing to go there and somebody who's low saying they're 60 or 70 overall. Like if I don't have, I just don't trust it until I've got the scout. And unfortunately they're gone a lot of the time, so I never get a chance.
The other guy I'm thinking of, like historically, I think the Korean Kong was one of those guys, but there've been a few really good ones.
Yeah.
All right.
Duck was Duck Breast one of those guys?
Yeah, and he wasn't really one of the best because of the injuries, right?
But I don't. I'm usually not in the place where I can spend 20 to 40 whatever million on these players, the high end guys. If somebody fits into my minor league system, fine. But I'm never in a payroll place to really sign them at that time.
It feels like they typically go to a team who thinks their window's about to emerge, right? So they sign him. Yeah. Take that gamble. All right, let's move on to the next team. Did we look at the system? We did a little bit. Yep. Okay, let's look on to the next team. Seventh place was the Philadelphia Eagles. This team has been in the gutter for a minute now. You seem to really enjoy Philadelphia not succeeding.
Look at that market the market size, the fan loyalty. Oh yeah, this is Philly. This is a classic Philly team. I love it. I love it.
32nd in budget, 28th in payroll. Yeah, it's in a bad place right now.
Are you really in? This is a Philadelphia franchise. I mean, you got to carry like a gun in the parking lot to go to your car. This is what this looks like here.
Yeah, it's been downhill ever since Dan pieced out after season 2.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
After that trade, whatever that catcher was, after that trade, it's been
Marcelo.
I feel like it's been I feel like it's been cursed since then.
Yep.
Dan's podcast was hilarious after that because he obviously did not want to rebuild this team, and he just said he sheepishly was like, at the end of this I'll just sell everybody off and rebuild again. I'm like, no, you won't. The way you drafted this team, you are not gonna stick around.
Look at his year one payroll, almost $250 million.
Yeah. So
is this the worst team in the TBL?
Yes. I mean, not team, franchise, yes.
Yeah. I mean, historically, I'm not talking about the individual effort of it.
No, Vancouver, probably. I don't know.
Vancouver? Oh, that's Virginia. Vancouver's got 7 playoff appearances, so it's 2 over.
Yeah,
Philly.
but it's in a conference where
Philly's got a championship.
You could
You're
be
right,
under
so
500 to make the playoffs in that conference.
regardless of whatever we say about Philly's got a championship in year 1. So
Yeah,
this team
that
is
weighs
not
more.
at the bottom.
That first year means more than anything Vancouver's done.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Tampa's also kind of in the gutter. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, they are.
So, Boston also isn't great. The new Boston.
No,
which was Lehigh.
That was the worst one.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this version. I don't think we need to spend a full 10 minutes on Philly.
Nah, he's got some solid pieces. I mean, I like Hoffman, Molina. At first, defense isn't great, but the dude is gonna mash. So he's got a couple of pieces. It's how much can he? And even Dunphy,
Dunphy is nice. I like Dunphy.
Yeah,
I'd move him to the corner,
but he's not a center fielder.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, yikes.
Which I've got a comment about center field overall, but we can save that till the end. But he's got he's got some nice pieces. It's just not I don't think it's just a fully cohesive. I mean, Ortega could be nice one day, but he's just not cooked yet.
Yeah, this feels like a kind of, I don't know, he's done pretty well in the minor leagues. We'll see how he does.
I mean, yeah.
I don't get his bars. Explain to me how this guy's a 70. Is this just because of his statistics in the minor leagues? What's going on here?
Well, his bars are AA. His performance, he hasn't beaten AA. Yeah, so whatever. I mean, it is Philly. Leave him in the TBL. Please leave this guy in the TBL.
But he's not like an elite
crew service time and just become shittier.
Why is he good though? He's not like an elite defender, catcher. His offensive bars aren't elite. They're all just. This guy looks so average to me. I don't understand why he's a 70 potential.
Yeah. No, it's the.
Is it because he's 6'2"?
Yeah. The bars look so great when you have that potential on them, but so much of that stuff. It's like when you have a pitcher he's got all these nice bars, then he has his changeup bar just never moves, and it stays at like 45, and you're like, that's all you need to be good. This guy needs everything more. He needs all this stuff to fill in to be good.
I will say
he does, but I do like a catcher who has the work ethic and the baseball IQ. Already has. I mean, I would start those with the defensive numbers. Obviously, he needs to get the bat needs to improve, but he's got the other intangibles that I would want for a catcher. So, but I just don't think he's ready yet.
You're not ready yet, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually the theme of Bobby's team here. I don't know why he's rushing any of this. Like, the league is, I mean, his division is so competitive right now. He's got, just looking, J.J. Saxton, a rookie in here, who's not ready. Off to an okay start, actually, but just doesn't look ready to me. You just go up to Jaramillo, who's DHing. This guy's a rookie. So he's got a ton of young guys in this lineup here, and it's like, I don't know.
And like Saxton, he's coming from a plus ball. I mean, nothing in AAA, nothing in AA.
Yeah, A plus.
I would let him cook down there a little bit.
That's a huge jump.
Well, you got to pay the guy eventually, right? We only got 5 years of service time before free agency. Why start the clock early?
Yeah.
There's no experience. I mean, yeah, you can get better playing in a TBL, but there's a bunch of these guys who need to be in AA.
Yep. This is another team too. I would I kind of flashed the page real quick, but I would encourage Bobby to keep his development budget just maxed all the time, because again, the franchise has not seen bright days, and you just want to keep trying to develop these guys through the system. So no reason to be lower than $30 million, in my opinion. But I don't know, JR, I think you sometimes disagree with that necessity.
$30 million?
Yeah.
Oh, I always try to do that.
Okay.
I just think
maybe
that
it was Reese that was talking about that. Someone recently was saying
there's you don't need $30 million. There's probably a happy area where you get the same amount of results out of like $27.5 million or something. But I usually keep it jammed to 30, because I do pay attention to how many players are in my system. So, not to go on a tangent, but you usually have about 270 players in the full system, and I'm very actually I got 301 now. So I'm very anal about keeping guys who are either prospect blockers or just not good for our system. I just keep them out. I don't want them using that 30 million at all. So I just get rid of them. I don't want any prospects in the Dominican eating a meal if they're not a good player. You can go home. Thank you. All right. So we'll cut those guys. But that's something where I think that there's a correlation between how many players you have in your system and your development budget. So if you have a lot of players, you got to split that money up. And I think that you got to be around 30 million.
I really like, one of my favorite things about doing this podcast is you hear these theories that, in theory, that sounds really great. Does the game work that way? I have no fucking idea, but it's really great.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. No, Steve just had an idea like that recently, too. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but there's a lot of different... But, I mean, they theoretically, like you talk it out loud, it makes a lot of sense. It's like, oh yeah, of course, right? More people, less money.
I don't see any buildings in the game. I don't have facility. Like they say, it's go to facility. Like I can't see what my facilities look like. Yeah. I can only imagine that it just goes to dollars per player towards getting better. And that's it. So I mean, figuratively, I said some kid in the Dominican I'm going to take a free lunch away from because he's he's not a good player. But yeah, that really happens in baseball.
I will say I think Bobby has the most direct pathway towards success. He's got maybe the best system of anyone we've looked at in the Ice Conference. If you can take Dunphy here, who's a stud, and flip him in a trade and get more assets here that are like college ready, kind of like what we talked about with was it Durham? I don't remember. But flip Dunphy or flip some of these other guys, and then look at this system that's coming up. He's in good shape. I think there's a future here. And my scout loves a lot of these guys. He's got 9-10 guys in the top 100, and he's just got a very deep system overall. So what are your thoughts here just looking at this? Saxton's up right now. He's got we've talked about like some of these guys shouldn't be up right now, and I would encourage him maybe to pump the brakes there, but
the organization can ruin them. Let's put it that way. Not the GM. The organization is tough right now. I would like to. I mean, I don't want to suggest anything for this franchise, but if they had more veteran presence, I wouldn't trade Dunphy. I'd keep him around. I'd keep the veterans around. Because not only that, if he trades Dunphy, it'll go to Jay for a 6th-round pick. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't trade him to Jay for a 6th.
To Jay. The guy Kuznicki, who Jay has, went for like a 3rd rounder or something. Those are the guys you hold on to if you want to supplement these young players. But whatever.
I definitely disagree with that strategy, though. I flip Dunphy, I bring in assets, and then I sign a veteran for all the cash I have because I've got no one on the books. So I don't know. I make your free agency money work, and then get assets for the guys you have on the books.
There's one player. You go back to the page. Look at Al Charles, who's he's number 8 on my list, number 74 overall. Look at this guy. Look at his second pitch, a potential 70 screwball.
Yeah, he looks pretty nice.
He's 75 on my scout thinks his screwball's a 75. So that'll be a very interesting player to pop up if he's able to get off that fragile tag and make it.
And he's got a good personality and the stamina and the holds runners. Yeah, this guy could be really good. 10th round pick. You see those late round picks from the pitchers all the time.
I love a screwball. I think that that's such a great. I have one guy in my system who has a 70-something screwball, and I think that's like actually he's got an 80 screwball. Sorry to tell you, but that's like the number one. I think the guy that's my prize is a guy who has the 80 screwball. Nobody else.
Just a weakness as a Red Sox fan, but every draft I search for knuckleballers, and usually nothing too fancy is there, but. All right. Any last thoughts here on the Eagles? We could probably move on. We've been going too long. Nothing. All right. Let's move on to Boston. Last team in the division. I think we didn't skip anybody, right?
Well,
They're last.
yeah, they're last. I'll start off pretty easy with this because I know the GMs like to listen. They scroll through and they find their team.
Yep.
And they listen.
JP, this is for you.
Yeah, my message for Boston's pretty easy. I'll trade a lot for Potter. If you retain a little bit, I'll give you the farm. All right. So that's it.
Yeah, he's off to a
That's
slow
what I think
start,
about this team.
But
35 stamina starter. I like this dude. What do we got? Yeah.
He's so good.
I'll give you $1 more.
Yeah, no, he's all they've got right now. He's been pretty bad for a while. He's got Potter on $48 million a year. No one else is being paid more than $3.5 million. So, straight rebuild mode. He's been in rebuild mode forever, though. Like
but his budget is like I think I mentioned it earlier, about $30 million higher, $20 to $30 million higher than a lot of teams that are in the same boat. Because he extended and kept some of the worst players, but the fans loved him. So market size, fan loyalty, and interest are not hurting as much as some other teams that just keep jettisoning players away.
No, that's a great point.
And
no, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to raise these things, even if your team's sucking, like just sign extremely popular players who are just going to bring fans and put butts in seats and increase that payroll and just keep those numbers moving up in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely got a very youthful team. I think he's in the same kind of boat that we just looked at, where he's got some guys that aren't quite fully cooked yet, that are starting for him. But I mean, you got Potter, and then the next guy's making $3.5 million, and then everybody else is like on min deals.
They're eating ramen noodles.
Yeah. So I mean, it at some point, depending on how this goes, he's gonna have some assets to trade because he's got a handful of these guys up there, and then he's got another, at least according to my guy, 25 guys in the top 450. So at some point he's going to need to do some wheeling and dealing or cut bait on the ones that aren't working.
Yeah. No, I don't know what the window is for him. He's been building for a while. I'm going to bring it up again just so it doesn't happen again to him, but he got fleeced in the Rule 5 draft like 2 seasons ago because he wasn't paying attention. And I know he's a good GM and he usually does pay attention, so I doubt it'll happen.
Yeah,
again.
it's just that wasn't him. Yeah, I'm surprised that happened.
Life gets busy sometimes.
Yeah, life. You could tell it really bothered him because he doesn't say much, and he was like, he mentioned that, and
he did. He did accidentally sign a scout this year, the best scout available, for $60 million, and No,
he didn't.
He did. I gave him I don't know what the right word is, but commissioner leniency, and I made him lock into that contract for $16.5 million a year, which was like I think more than triple any other scouting director contract. So he has the best scout now, but he did pay an ass load of money for him.
Whatever.
But
I'm not going to comment on this one at all.
Yeah. If it happens a second time, I'm going to ask questions. But
we're gonna pretend like none of that was said because It's not that he got hammered on the deal. It's just that somehow it came down to $16.5 million, which is still
this is just what I did. I offered that same scout $8.2 million, and I said, all right, you can keep him for double that. That was my logic. Sometimes you just got to make decisions as a commissioner. What can I say?
No comment.
What can I say? Stop. I mean, at the same time, because he had tried to type in $6.4 million, that was going to be his bid. and it came out to
he
be
said
like
that?
64 million. I'm just assuming. I don't know. I hope so.
So
Anyways,
you hit him
again,
with
I
$8 million
didn't.
penalty.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep him locked into 64 million. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, like he literally took the best scout from who knows how many other bidders. So there's got to be some penalty there. So, anyways, moving on from that. That's the fact that this has been like half of Boston's breakdown is his penalty for that. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows when this team's ever going to be good?
You got to break this conference. I mean, you got to break this division up at some point.
Why do you say that?
Because Boston, Philly, Montreal, like they have great systems. When I look around the other systems at the bottom of the like the Jade, for instance, we just saw it. It's that's the Sapphire. I think is top to bottom the strongest division.
Yeah,
with
it might
talent.
be. Yep.
And it's going to get ridiculous if Boston and Montreal and Philly cash out.
Once we shift out of the Park 27 and go to the new version, maybe we can look at doing kind of a realignment kind of thing. We'll see. But yeah, you're not totally wrong. I don't think geographic location matters as much as it did when we first started the league. So I don't know. I'm a little hesitant because it does definitely like fuck with the history of the league and stuff like that when you move people around.
Well, yeah, you can't go crazy with it, but I think I would like it if it were better geographically. Like for instance, Virginia should be in the same division as Baltimore, or
yeah, probably, yeah,
whatever.
Who do you switch over?
We're moving. We need our full.
The problem was there were too many teams in the Northeast, more than 8.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Who are you moving? So I guess Baltimore's volunteered, so now Baltimore and Virginia still won't be.
Yep,
they're gonna switch.
I want to stay. I want to stay in the Sapphire, by the way. So don't move me. But if anybody wants to go, tell any of them that they're free to go. We'd like to keep Philly around just because,
need somebody to beat up on.
Yeah.
Well, if we did a realignment, probably the OGs would get their choice of drafting the new divisions.
Yeah.
So that'd work out well for both of you. It'd probably be you two, Phoenix and San Diego. I guess my guess would be because those are the 4 OGs outside of myself.
That's it, huh?
I think so.
And then
anybody else? If I'm leaving anybody out, I feel really bad. But
is Alex sticking around for through his marriage here?
You're gonna have to ask Alex. I offered him an out and he stayed, so I think he wants to stick around. So
we could go to 4 divisions of 4.
4 divisions of 4, yeah. We could do that. I mean, hey, I'm not totally opposed. Again, I really like the expansion idea of 6 divisions of 6, but I don't think that's going to happen with the recent turnover. So it is what it is. But anyways, how do you guys rank the Sapphire? This is your division. So Steve, as the new podcaster, why don't you start first?
So because this is just how I am, I expect Somerville to come in first.
No.
Baltimore will be second, a close second, and then I'm gonna say New York third, Carolina fourth, Toronto fifth, Montreal sixth, Philly, and then Boston.
All right. JR.
Right. I would give it to it's such a tough one. Let's stay with New York. New York, I'm gonna say Somerville, Carolina, Baltimore, all within like 5 games of each other, and then Montreal, like 18 games back, and then Boston. No, I'm not going to do it yet. I want to say that they can leapfrog the Eagles, but whatever.
Toronto.
I'm going to go Toronto, Philly, Boston, Montreal. I'm sorry, Toronto, Montreal, Philly, Boston.
Toronto, Montreal. Okay.
Whatever. I really don't. I really don't care past Baltimore.
All right.
Me either.
Man, this year, I don't know. I actually kind of like New York as well. They just got so much talent on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to pick them first. I'll pick Somerville second. I'll pick Baltimore third. Carolina fourth. And then I do have Montreal fifth. I do think Montreal makes the playoffs. I have Toronto sixth on the way back, but not there yet. Philly seventh. And Boston eighth. So, cool. All right, that wraps up the Ice Conference. I definitely need a break. I don't know if we're done or if we'll keep going. I'll talk to these guys in a second.
Yeah, I might have to actually go.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm done for the evening.
Sounds good. We've been running for a minute, so it's been a good breakdown of one conference. Maybe we'll do the Fire Conference at a later date. But thanks as always for joining JR and Steve. Thanks for hopping on and talking with us. And,
that was awesome, Steve. Thanks.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Well, good luck this season to both of you. We'll talk about the Paddlers soon and how I don't plan to be in the playoffs. But, hopefully you guys have some success. Maybe you get there and maybe you get that championship you're looking for.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
Yeah, you never know. All right, guys.
Excellent.
All right.